Computers don't make errors. What they do on purpose. By now, your name and particulars have been fed into every laptop, desktop, mainframe, and supermarket scanner that collectively make up the global information conspiracy, otherwise known as the Beast.
Thank you! Thank you!
Madam, you have suffered an emotional shock. I will notify a rape crisis center.
He's super white.
Hey, this is Angry Grandma with another fucking weather report. It's hotter than hell out here. I got sweat rolling down the crack of my eyes. The sun's beating down on my titties. I don't know, it's so fucking hot. I go in the house, my damn air conditioner's fucked up. So, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I can't get no relief in the house, can't get no relief outside. I'm going downstairs and get me a couple of ice trays, and I'm sticking them down my titties and down the ice of my drawers and see if that won't cool my ass off a little bit. So guys, I'm burning the fuck up, and I'll talk to you later.
Where are you going?
I'm going to get me some fucking ice.
For what?
To stick down my drawers, see if I can get cooled off.
To start with about shipping, because I know a lot of fans were actually pretty invested in the idea of Natasha with actually either or both of you guys, and now obviously she's with Bruce. What do you guys make of that?
She's a slut. I was gonna say something along that line. Complete whore. Trick, man.
If it's clear and yellow, you've got juice there, fella. If it's tangy and brown, you're in cider town. Now, there's two exceptions, and it gets kind of tricky.
You can stay, but I'm leaving.
Can be yellow if they're using late season apples. And of course, in Canada, the whole thing's flip-flop.
What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Wednesday. This is a chill stream with two of my very favorite people on YouTube. We got Mike Harlow in the house. Hi, Mike.
Hey, lady.
Hi. I missed you on Toxic Femme yesterday, and I was like, I need my mic fixed.
Oh, I missed you too.
Where are you? Oh, I like your little lights in the background. That's cute.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, yours is super fancy. I need to, both of you, I need to get background looking like you guys.
You look awesome.
Dude, you look like you're in the middle of Star Wars when it was good. Like, I'm jealous of that background.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, man, it's like camera tricks and shit I learned working in Hollywood. It's just black curtain and neon lights, basically.
Damn, I gotta get that.
You can make anything look fancy with that.
That's awesome. I mean, like, sometimes simple goes a long way too. I've started to notice, because it's like, you know, sometimes I have, when my background's like way too full, I'm like, ugh, like this looks just way too messy and garbagey. But Mike, you also have a Hitler Youth haircut, so I'm really happy that you're here representing.
Thank you. I mean, I'm half Jewish, so maybe the other half is like Hitler Youth.
Ooh, okay. All right. Thank
I
you.
should have shaved mustache.
Oh, you know what? We need to bring back the Chaplin mustache. I feel like Charlie Chaplin really got, shafted with that whole Hitler stealing his look thing.
Bring it back. You're ethnic.
Wait, what? Nina's mic is blocking? Oh. Oh God. I got it. I got this. I thought it was having sound issues for a second. Verbal Rightus, you're Dante. Hi. Oh, you're muted.
I was muted. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, not bad. You don't have a Hitler Youth haircut.
I do not. In fact, my hair is just all gray at this point. So
well, you got like some.
I have a gray fro.
Oh, do you? Oh, that's awesome, actually. But you got like a beanie look going on, so you're kind of like doing a Tim Pool.
Oh yeah. This is like my black Tim Pool look. So
it looks good. You're looking good, man. I'm glad you're here. We also have another person joining us here. I'm actually surprised that he's here. Hi, Script Doctor.
Hi. I needed a break from working, and also I'd say Dante is more Tim Cool than Tim Pool if he's going to go with the Beanie
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
I like that.
Because I've actually met him, as you can see in the picture behind me.
Yes. Oh my God. Look
That's
at
true.
hold
That
on.
is true. Me and Script hung out.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
God,
fun.
that's
We also
hilarious.
saw a terrible movie with a lot of
Oh
laughs.
dear God. Yeah, that
What
was bad.
movie?
What was it?
Craven the Hunter.
Ugh.
I didn't watch
Yes.
that movie. I was like, I'm not
We had a
watching.
lot of drinks before the movie though.
Yeah, you probably needed them.
Was it as bad as Morbius? Because I saw that one. And that was
That's a
I think
tough
Craven was
call.
more fun,
Yeah.
and I'm saying that very loosely, but like it was. I don't know. I had a better time with Craven than I had with Morbius, but that's because I saw Morbius by myself and I saw Craven with a bunch of other drunk people, so we had a good time.
I feel like that'll do it. What I watched? I haven't watched any. Wait, actually, I did watch a really good movie. I watched Flow. Have you guys seen that? Won the Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature.
Oh, I
I
heard
have
that
not
was
seen
good.
that one.
No.
Oh my God, you guys, it's so good. Like first of all, I was crying. I'm not gonna lie. At the end, I cried. Like for real. I was like, I was not prepared for it to cry over CGI animals, but it happened. It is a beautiful story. I mean, it was just so good, so symbolic. So there's just so many things that could be said about it. I highly recommend. Script Doctor, you haven't seen it? I'm kind of surprised that you didn't see it.
Flow? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not ringing a bell.
It's the little CGI. It's a silent movie with the little CGI cats and the animals. It's got a dog. It's got I forget what that other animal's called. It's like big.
Actually, this released in Canada when I wasn't even in the country.
Oh,
so that's I guess
probably
I
why I
missed
haven't
it.
seen it. Oh my
You're
God, you should
crying
watch it
over
with your
silent
girlfriend.
Pussycats in the forest.
There's pussycats in the forest. There's there's a doggy. There is a little lemur who's awesome, and it's basically the story is basically it's the end of the world. We don't know how it ended or why it ended or whatever, but what's left is the humans are gone, and what's left is animals, and they have to find a way to a different place from the first location that they're at. And that's the entire story, like locating from one to the other. And it's just about animals and their nature. And I'm not doing it justice. It's a beautiful movie. I can't say any more. Watch it. Just watch it. Trust me.
I was literally just about to say Apocalyptic Homeward Bound.
Yes, it is. It is an apocalyptic homeward
Spike
bound.
beat me to it.
For real. For real. We got a low watermark in the house for $25. Says let's all support Hope Girl. Hey Nina, hi. Oh, thank you. That is such a sweet thing to say. I love that. Thank you. Very, very nice of you. Okay, we have things to talk about, including racism. So I'm glad.
Yay!
Everyone's
glad we
favorite
have-
subject.
I know. I'm glad we have someone with a Hitler Youth haircut. We got a black guy in the panel. We were checking.
You got
all the
some
boxes
real
over here.
DEI tonight.
Real DEI. Oh, and we got a Canadian in the house who's going through elections. How's that going,
that's the
Script
worst
Doctor?
It's lose up here, Nina. It's lose. Yeah,
Not turning out well, is it? I mean, I didn't expect it to be any better than it is right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I suspect whatever party wins, it's going to be a minority government. I'd be surprised if the one gets a majority, but I think it's going to be a minority, which is actually a better outcome than you could hope because then you have an opposition that actually can oppose.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with Canadians? Like they don't want things to.
No, it's not that. It's So, at the turn of the century, the government realized that the subsidizing the CBC actually can come with a sense of power and change of narrative. It took them 60 years to figure this out, mind you, because for many, many decades, the Canadian funded news corporations actually did hold a lot of politicians to account. And then all of a sudden, someone in office between 2006 and 2019 basically said, we can just pull your funding if you don't do what we tell you to. And of course, a network that has become dependent on the subsidies as opposed to making shows that people would buy advertisements for and whatnot and then generate a profit, said, no, we want the easy government money. So that's what they've done. And so we have we have 3 generations of Canadians that had every reason to trust the mainstream media in Canada because it was actually doing what it was supposed to do. And then, like a frog in a pot of water, when it's slowly starting to boil, they're finding out fairly too late into the system that the last couple of decades they have been lied to. Oddly enough, by both parties, because both parties have been in power the last 20 years and have done the same thing to the CBC in that time. So yeah, you've got actually a huge population of Canadians that don't want either party to have a majority, but the media is skewering to one side because it's the one in power. And yeah, we'll see how well that goes. Unfortunately, for federal elections, it's still a paper ballot in-person voting system. So there's that. Take that what you will.
Also, we should explain, just in case. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but we don't vote for a person. We vote for the party in Canada. So you're voting for the Liberal Party or Conservatives, or
like we vote for our member of parliament that represents our district.
Yeah,
and then it's like the electoral college. The most seats of one party gets the majority, and therefore is the leadership, so to speak. That's kind of the easiest way to explain it.
Ian says the frog thing isn't true. They hate being boiled. I looked it up. Hey, what's up, Nerd Cookies? How you doing, Elaine? Good to see you. Yaya Ding Dong, girl. If you guys don't know what Yaya Ding Dong is, there's a movie called, there's a movie called Eurovision on Netflix with Will Ferrell. Yes, and it's amazing. It's a really good movie.
I'm allergic to Will Ferrell.
Are you? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, he's kind of jumped the shark for me a little bit.
He was never under the shark for me.
Really? I used to love Will Ferrell, like a huge fan.
One of his best performances was in Old School.
Yes, I love Old School.
Absolutely.
I think his best performance was in that documentary with the trans pretending like everything's fine.
I'm seriously
This is my lovely female friend. Isn't she?
He
beautiful?
might go. I'm seriously thinking he might actually like switch, like pull a Bruce Jenner. Like he might just be like, "Yo, guys,
in a car."
Yeah, like I could see it. I could see it. Like one
he looks like he's halfway there at this point.
He kind of does look like it. So I don't know. Though. What's up, Tom? How you doing?
Hey,
how you doing? You want to come hang out? I can send you a link if you want to come hang out. But okay, let's talk about stuff. By the way, you guys, we're alive on all across 3 platforms: Rumble, Twitter, YouTube, all the good stuff. Make sure you smash the like, share the stream, all the good stuff, and come hang out with us everywhere. Let me quickly send Tom the link just in case he wants to make an appearance.
Yeah, because it's not that I don't have time for Tom. It's that I'm being pulled in so many directions in my real life that literally this window of time in the day is rarely free for me.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you're making time to be here to talk about racism.
Yeah, I mean, writing 3 dozen commercial scripts for advertisement is draining. I'd rather talk about one of the dumbest writers of Power Rangers to ever exist, who even puts in self-insert character as one of the main characters of the show.
Wait, he did? Who did he insert himself as?
His name is Tony Oliver, and the Green Ranger is named Tommy Oliver.
Oh,
interesting.
That's interesting. I didn't clue in. Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Okay, this is my experience with Power Rangers. I love Power Rangers, but I don't remember shit from the show. I watched it religiously when I was a kid. I would run home to watch Power Rangers and Sailor Moon. It was like back to back, white TV. I know you know I'm talking about Script Doctor, but it was like, it's just gone like from my brain. Like I remember the witch, and I remember hating that bitch and being like, yeah, Power Rangers, fucking kill that bitch.
Rita Repulsa.
Yes, her. I freaking hated her. She was the worst, but also the best because she was a good villain. But my experience from Power Rangers, I never cared about the race of the Power Rangers, but the colors of the Power Rangers I cared about. Like I was, very upset that the pink Power Ranger was like the cute girl, and I was like, why does it have to be pink? Because I like blue. So I my favorite color is blue. So why couldn't she be blue? But the nerdy guy is blue. It was like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
She
I
was
cared about
so
the
hot
colors.
too.
She
I
was
loved the pink
cute.
Power Ranger.
She was cute, but I didn't like it because all my like when we would play pretend after school and pretend to be Power Rangers, everybody wanted me to be the pink one, and I was like, I don't want to be the pink one. I want to be the red one.
The Power Rangers. That was one of those things that was kind of after my time. Like my little brothers and sisters, like they loved it growing up. But for me, like I was already like, you know, in college at the time. So like it just kind of missed me. But I've watched some of it with them, like as I'm babysitting them because they're kind of younger than me. And that's my only thing. Like I've never seen an episode all the way through.
You didn't?
I used to love that shit.
I feel like you missed out a little bit because I mean you can get really stoned now, Dante, and watch it.
That is very true, and honestly, most likely to happen.
Like I think you would have it. Like you would have it. It would be a trip for you. Like you just watch it and just laugh because it's so campy. Like you just like, this is actually good to watch really stoned.
Oh, no, I mean I've seen a few episodes, and you know it's one of those. Well, actually, I do have a funny story about the Black Ranger.
Ooh, okay, share.
I met Walter Jones too.
Me and him almost got into it. There was this bar way back in the day in Hollywood called the Roxbury, and yeah, what the movie was
like
based
as in
on.
the
It was a real bar, real club, and really fancy place, really nice. And I remember I was there with some friends, and I went to the bar. He pulled up with this really hot chick, and I don't know where he went. He kind of ventured off a little bit. So I'm talking to the chick. I didn't see him pull up with her. I just looked over and saw this hot girl, started talking to her. So he comes over and he kind of puts his arm around her, you know, and tries to kind of big boy me in a way, you know, and it's
he
like
macked it on your girl.
Yeah, he tried to like, you know, make it clear that that's his woman. And I'm like, look, man, that's cool. There's like, you know, 100 other hot chicks here. I really don't care. But he kept making some snide remarks, and I looked at him like, dude, I'm literally a bouncer. I used to be a bodyguard for Prince. I'm like, do you really want to get into this with me? Now, understand, I was a lot bigger back then. I was a lot bigger. Like I shrunk down quite a bit. But yeah, I'm looking at him like, look, man, you know, you do that weird shit on Power Rangers, but this is real life, bro.
Streets, bro.
I'm like, you don't want to do this, man. And she kind of like was pushing him away, like, hey, let's not do this, okay? Because you know she got all dolled up. She didn't want to get kicked out the bar. But it was just kind of a wild thing. I'm like, am I really about to get into a fight with the Black Power Ranger? Like, is this about to happen?
That's too funny.
That's
You're like, this is the
amazing.
streets, bro. What are you doing? Like, no, none of that karate shit's gonna fly over here.
And he caught me in a very good mood, and that's why I was just like, you know what? I want peace tonight.
You let it go. That's good. That's good. Script Doctor, do you like you have a wait? Did you say you also met this dude?
I've met Walter Jones and Amy Jo Johnson I met Amy Jo Johnson a few times because she was working on a TV series up here called Flashpoint, which is like a cop series. And she was, I mean, you could tell that she was kind of like a flirty Valley girl back in those days, but currently now she's still kind of relaxed, but she's a mom and loves being a mom and likes working on songs and screenplays. And she's written a couple of really good ones since, but she's also an accomplished gymnast, just like Walter Jones is. Walt, I met 2 years before they announced they were going to make a Power Rangers feature film with Lionsgate.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a fun guy because I talked to him about like some of the other stuff he did, like Space Cases, which was this like students trapped in space thing, which he did after Power Rangers. And yeah, like he was a nice guy. I kind of watched Power Rangers in the early days. I actually didn't start watching it until I was in college because I was studying like children's entertainment, and I ended up watching that plus the companion Sentai stuff it was based off of. I like the Sentai stuff way more, but yeah. So he actually is the one that brought up Power Rangers when we were talking about it, and this had already been this article here delves a little bit of the controversy where Walter Jones did not care that he was the black guy playing the Black Ranger. He just thought, I'm the Black Ranger. That's cool. And same thing with Tui Trang, who tragically died in a car accident at the turn of the century. She didn't care that she was the Yellow Ranger. In fact, she replaced the original girl that they cast who had to drop out And the original girl, I think she was like Polynesian or a mix of something. But yeah, she didn't make it, so they got Tui, and Tui was awesome, and everybody liked her. And nobody made any note of the colors coordinating with an ethnicity at all, except for maybe some very upset parents that did not like the show encouraging martial arts and fighting your enemies, and they were looking for any way to kind of get it canceled. So they made the connections and then brought it up there.
Of course, they're the liberals.
Which also led to when Walter Jones, Austin St. John, and Tui Trang decided to renegotiate because they were making $500 a week on that show, which was like below, way below scale.
Wow, that is
bad. So they renegotiated, wanting to be proper scale, and the company said, no, you're gone. So they fired those 3, and then they brought in 3 other people, and they mixed it around. So now the Asian guy's the Black Ranger, the Black girl's the Yellow Ranger, and the other white guy is the White Ranger. And then they shot themselves in the foot when they did the Zeo series, because they made Tommy, who was the Green Ranger, the Red Ranger, and then later said that he came from Native American origins. So,
oh my gosh.
So
see, I don't know any of this lore.
Well, I learned some of this lore because I actually wrote a feature script for Power Rangers as a feature film. It was in contention. I lost to the guy that ended up getting the gig, which I think his movie was terrible. Mine was actually because Power Rangers, what you don't realize, it's a comedy. So actors Jason Narvey and Paul Schreier, they played Skull and Bulk. They are like professional sketch comedians, and also like they teach comedy on the side. They're not hugely famous worldwide outside of the Power Rangers stuff, but they are really funny guys. They know how to do like Laurel and Hardy shtick, classic vaudeville comedy, like the whole thing. And all of their scenes in Power Rangers, they wrote. So all the gags and all the silly, dumb stuff, they wrote knowing that this was for a group of 6 to 12-year-olds. And they made it up all on the week of the episode. So when you realize that Power Rangers is a comedy with a serious world domination aspect to it, your movie itself, if you're going to adapt it, should also be a comedy. and obviously the one we saw was trying to be edgy, super dense, realistic, all that type of stuff. And that's what Lionsgate went with. And now it's been 10 years since we've had a follow-up movie to that, when they were trying to stimulate a franchise. So yeah, they didn't really quite nail it. But regardless of that, yeah, I mean, it's a comedy show. It's kids entertainment. And the other part too, you had Austin St. John, Jason David Frank, Amy Jo Johnson, and David Yost were legit acrobats and martial artists. Like, they weren't people that just did it for show. They are in competitions. I think Jason.
That's
David
why
Frank,
they were so good. Like
Jason David Frank had his own studio and industry of martial arts schools. And Austin, he's the son of he's a military brat kid, so he traveled around, and he was the one that was the closest age to all of them. I think he was 17 when he started the show, and he knew how to do the stuff, and he ended up volunteering as a medic in the Afghan war, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
He went overseas for that. Now, all of these actors, with the exception of Tui Trang, have been in some sort of controversy regarding finances.
Wait. Mike said something about porn. What happened?
It's not actually him. It's a guy that just looks a lot like him, because the time that was filmed, he was in Middle East so he couldn't be in two places at once. So
you both blew my mind and disappointed me.
The thing is, though, I don't think people understand how stupid Hollywood is. Here's the thing: they're actually smarter now than they used to be, and that's scary, because they're still stupid. But Hollywood back in the early the 90s, the 80s, they were really dumb. And the way they would cast people, they would cast a black person and literally tell that black person they're not black enough for the role.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They'll cast a black actor for a black character and tell that black actor, that they're not black enough.
They still do that, Dante. Like, they did that to what's her name for Nina Simone. From
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, you're not black enough."
True, Nina, but that's kind of that's people who have gotten woke and all this other shit. I'm talking back in the day, the studios were very particular about what they cast, and they loved their stereotypes back in the day. They loved them. So
that's true. They did.
None of this is surprising to me. But here, the funny thing about it, though, is, during this time period, you know, I was an adult, you know. I mean, obviously I'm an old ass man. So I was adult during this time, a young adult. And, you know, this is right after the LA riots, right? Like this is after like the big bomb that went off, right? And honestly, you know, it wasn't, people joked, actually. They made jokes about the Yellow Ranger being Asian, the Black Ranger being black. No one really cared though. No one was upset. It was more of a joke. It was more funny, like, they cast an Asian person as the Yellow Ranger. They cast a black person as the black. It was a joke. It wasn't like meant to be taken serious. So it's weird to me that all these years later, like they're talking about this. Like this is a thing.
I'm surprised that they didn't remark that the Yellow Ranger in the Sentai series was played by a guy, and then they got a woman playing, you know, a guy role. Like that's why she doesn't have a skirt in the footage. I'm just shocked they didn't go that way and try to make some sort of trans allegory thing.
That is surprising.
It just goes to show how much better off we were in the 90s. That I remember when somebody said that to me the first time, and I loved Power Rangers when I was a little kid. I remember I was maybe in high school when someone mentioned that the Black Ranger was black, and I was like, oh shit, I never noticed. Nobody did. But now that's the first thing we have to notice about everyone. Everyone is nothing except their immutable traits, because these people are so hyper fixated on race that they project that onto everyone else.
Yeah. And like, to your point, Mike, I never, like, I knew Power Rangers too, and we never really talked about that. Like there was some jokes here and there from some kids once in a while, but it was just a joke, like you were saying, Dante. It was like nobody cared, nobody took anything seriously. And then if anything, like I said earlier, people cared about the color of the outfits. Like they were like, I want to be the Red Ranger, no, I'm the leader, like, you know, like that kind of thing was more of an argument than anything else that had to do with the skin color of the people.
Have you guys seen the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It was freaking good.
With
new
Ivan Ooze.
Great use of Devo. Yes, that's how good it is.
I like the new one too. The new one was great. I thought they did it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get a sequel for that one. Like that was actually pretty good.
Oh, the one that was like Krispy Kreme and Bryan Cranston and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, that was a horrible movie.
Yeah, it looked horrible.
I don't know. I enjoyed it, man.
I enjoyed it too. It was fun.
The original movie though can never be matched. And the whole time we were like, why the fuck is Zordon in the tube? And then in the movie you see him outside the tube, and we're like, okay, get back inside the tube. We need to see that.
That's funny.
I mean, that was traumatic having to see Zordon outside the tube.
You know what's so crazy about this is like it all reminds me of also like what's going on with Star Trek. You know how we just 90s was a special time, man. We went through a period of time where nobody gave a shit about any of this. Like this stuff it didn't matter. What mattered was the stories and what the characters represented, and that was basically it. Like we didn't care about anything else. And it feels like we're so far away from that, and we're trying to get back to that, but we can't because we're stuck with stuff like this where people are just coming out and apologizing for something that, I mean, I don't think this is necessary. I read something like months ago where, you know, the creator of Friends was like, we're so sorry that we didn't have enough black people.
Oh my God,
now.
I saw
just
that.
like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you don't have to apologize for having a hit show like years later.
And you know what's funny? Like black people we didn't even talk about that. We didn't care, man. It's like we had our own shows, man. We had like Living Single and like shows like that. That, you know,
Fresh
so
Prince.
Like,
they had no white people in Fresh Prince.
But the thing is, we still watched Friends though. Like we liked Friends,
and we still watched Fresh Prince.
Right?
Yeah,
so like,
we did.
It's crazy, like what people. You know, the thing that pisses me off though. I feel like all of this comes from liberal white women. Like this does not come from black people.
You're
I'm
the
telling you,
worst.
because we don't talk about this shit. We don't care about it.
It's the presumption of segregation when that was never the intent. Like that's the thing. It's like, oh, you got the Cosby Show. Oh, you got Family Matters. Oh, you got Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then you've got Home Improvement, Friends, Seinfeld. It's like, yeah, it's not being done deliberately. They're actually just thinking, can we make this show funny? Can we get the best people in it? What's the family dynamic? This is what we're going to focus it on and go from there. I mean, for crying out, Family Matters wouldn't exist without Perfect Strangers, because the one of the characters in there is the wife of Carl Winslow, and that was the spinoff to it. And it basically said, like, yeah, it's not an isolated world where there's only white people over here and black people over there. It's like, it's a representation of the real world, but we're putting it focused on the families because these are what's called family sitcoms. And do we really have family sitcoms these days? Not exactly. We have workplace sitcoms, and that's kind of the majority of things. And they've been sucking for like the last 15 years.
I really miss family sitcoms, man. I really do. I was a sitcom person though. What were you gonna say, Mike?
I wish they would ask that liberal white bitch who created Friends. Okay, oh, I'm so sorry. They were white people. Okay, well, which one would you replace? I wish someone would ask her that follow-up question. Which one would you replace? Or Fresh Prince, which one would you replace?
Right.
I mean, they already replaced Aunt Viv, and we know the original Aunt Viv is the only Aunt Viv. Janet Hubert.
I agree too.
No, and look, and there was a time where we need, like in the 70s, we had shows like Sanford and Son, we had the Jeffersons, we had Good Times, right? Like we had these shows that kind of portrayed like black families, black life, right? And that's because there weren't a lot of those, on, but all of those were spinoffs from other shows, right? Like the Jeffersons was a spinoff of All in the Family, and Good Times was a spinoff of Maude, and like there was just all these.
And Maude was a spinoff of All in the Family,
right? So like it was just all these crossovers, but Norman Lear, man, what he was able to do was show that, this is what black families go through. This is like people who live like in the hood, and people who made it to the top, whatever. He was able to show that, like, at the end of the day, right? Everyone's is the same. Everyone could be an asshole. Yep. He showed that.
Yep.
Everybody could be a good person. The problem now, though, and the reason why I bring this up is because now we're getting into this weird territory now where studios don't want to portray like black people as the villain, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that doesn't help anything, man. Like, look, there needs to be just a variety, right? Of just different roles that you're portraying us as, right? Black people can be the villain. They could be the hero. They could be this and that.
Only Giancarlo Esposito can be the black guy that's a villain because we don't see him
right. I get, yeah, he's the only one. He's the only one.
It's so crazy to me because, like, I remember back then, I don't know if this was the 90s. When did Voyager come out?
97, I think.
So it was still the 90s. So I remember when Voyager came out, and like the biggest discussion was that it was going to have a female captain. And that was one I remember that because it was a point that people were making, like, oh, it's going to be a female captain. It's going to be a female captain. And then we all started watching it, and then everybody was like, this is fucking great. Like, it's a great show. And then nobody cared. It was like, it was over after that. And then, of course, their ratings were down a little bit. And then they brought in 7 of 9 because she was really, really hot. And then guess what happened with the ratings? It went like through the freaking roof because she was hot. They had
a Spock story. So that was the one thing that was missing from Voyager. Because Next Generation had a Spock story with Data trying to become human. Spock having a Spock story like balancing between Vulcan and humanity. In Voyager, they didn't have that. The other part too, and I know a couple of the Voyager writers, they could not define Captain Catherine Janeway. That was their biggest problem because when you watch that series, she is all over the map.
She was at the beginning. She was.
When they brought 7 of 9 in, this was the Spock story of like a Borg rediscovering their humanity, and that's kind of what saved the show. The fact that it was Jerry Ryan and she's gorgeous was almost inconsequential because I think if they even did it with a male character going through that journey, people would actually have still gravitated towards it. But they decided to spice it up because, again, we already had 2 male characters trying to discover humanity or reconcile with their human side. Let's do a female part and create that type of friendship where the captain and the alien or the artificial being is learning about or dealing with humans. So that ended up doing quite well with that. Fortunately, you never needed to worry so much about that with Deep Space Nine because the cast of characters were so crazy out there. In diversity with their cultures and species,
everything
stuff. It was like, okay, every single one of them was trying to understand the Federation and humanity, and Cisco and co were trying to do the same. So everybody had that dynamic. And then they went really out there, which was great. I love that series. One of my favorites. But yeah, like they were really trying to pull that show together. And one of the things like I've said this many times before, the moment Star Trek was canceled as Enterprise is the moment when society kind of lost faith in itself. because we didn't have a fictional show that was kind of like saying, hey, as crappy as things can be, this still could be a possibility.
Yeah.
And as soon as that was gone out of the cultural pop conversation, the whole world kind of went bad. Because again, even with when 9/11 occurred, Star Trek did a response to that in Enterprise with the Xindi attack. Wasn't well loved, but it did have this theme of like, we are going out there to find out why they did this and understand them first, as opposed to launch a war, because that's kind of where you solve a problem as opposed to just escalating it. And then Les Moonves canceled it and then handed over to Alex Kurtzman. And then 10 years later, we get Discovery, which is this identity politics Star Trek, which fractures society even more. And then going back to 7 and 9, they completely missed the point of that character, because why would someone whose identity was stolen and put into a collective, a communist collectivism, and then is freed from that, why would she still retain the 7 of 9 moniker if she's already exercised that from her person and not go by her real name, Annika? And in the Picard series, nope, she's still 7 of 9, but she's fully disconnected from the board, embracing her humanity, but she's still 7 of 9. That's like keeping a slave name.
But that was part of the story though, and I like how they did that, because she didn't quite identify with Annika, because she had forgotten who she was.
But
so
it was
like,
the journey in Voyager was her rediscovery of who is that person, and then when she claims that identity, that's who she becomes. But Star Trek decided, no, we're just going to keep using the 7 and 9 thing because fans will recognize that. It's like, no, Star Trek fans will recognize that she's Annika Hansen, and she did the one thing that anyone who escaped from a communist Soviet Union did, which is like, I am not that anymore. I am me. I'm an individual. I have my rights. I have my own agency, and this is my name. I'm not given a serial number. I'm not given a quota piece or whatever. I'm myself. Yeah. And they dropped. They didn't.
I love what they did with her story though, because they did that whole thing with the doctor, and he was trying to figure himself out and his name. So they had that whole thing going with them, and then they introduced the Borg kids later on, so she was able to be kind of like a mother figure to them, the way Janeway was to her. They did a lot of interesting character development with her, and just generally speaking. And I know we're getting totally off track because it's becoming a Star Trek conversation, but but that's what stories were, and they meant something back then, and they did in Power Rangers as well. And I just personally hate this retroactive like apology bullshit where everyone's like, oh, let's just all apologize for, stupid shit we might have said and done like back in the day. Like, who fucking cares? No, like this is not a topic of conversation until you made it one.
Yeah. Let's apologize for something nobody has made an actual like legitimate claim of offense to.
Exactly. And it's just that.
Also, the weird thing for me is why was Friends singled out? There were a lot of shows that only had white folks, right? Like, so why was Friends the one singled out?
Because it was the biggest. That's why.
It was the biggest, and they singled themselves out. Like nobody cared until that person was like, you know what? I just liberal white women, man. They just come out. And they're like, oh, let me just retroactively apologize for all of my sins of being white.
Oh, well, they said the same thing about Sex in the City, and then they came out with the woke reboot.
Oh God!
You're right. They did.
The DEI Olympics of social issues. Which social issue? All of them. It is unbelievably horrific.
Again, no one cared. Like, I love Sex in the City, like the original. Like
Me too.
I watched it several times over.
I did not expect you to say that.
Oh my God, you are the first straight dude I have ever heard say.
Yeah, same for me. Like you're the first straight dude I've never seen.
Okay, come on. The writing alone, the writing
so
good, man. I don't care who. I'm a writer, so I don't care who you are or what show it is. The writing was good.
I'm so happy.
The characters were good. I don't know. Like I
listen, Kim Cattrall's always been attractive, but it just wasn't enough for me to get into it. Oh, myself.
You know what? Chris Gore entered the chat.
Like
yes, Chris Gore's here.
I love that show went there. You know what I mean? Like they just went there, and it was like there wasn't a lot of shows that were doing that back then.
Dante, who are you? Are you Carrie? Are you a Samantha? Are you?
I think you're Miranda with a Samantha Moon and a Charlotte Rising.
I'm definitely a mix of Carrie and Charlotte. Like I'm definitely not baby crazy the way she was, but I'm definitely like Samantha. I mean, Carrie, because I'm like crazy and curly hair and wild, and I'm just her personality. Same. I think like she's definitely me, but I'm also a little bit more conservative, like the way Charlotte was. So I'm a mix of Carrie and Charlotte. But
they made Charlotte into the most fucking woke.
Oh my God, are you serious? I couldn't
Have you guys seen it just
Miranda.
like that?
I have not seen the new ones at all. I refuse to watch it.
I refused. I was like, there's no fucking way.
If I told you like one or two of the things that happen out of hundreds in that show, you would think I'm making it up. It's
oh my God,
insane.
tell us one
I
thing.
did. If anyone watching, I have a video on my channel covering the whole first season. It was
oh my God.
mess.
Okay, I'm watching that. I'm watching
no,
that.
Miranda. So Cynthia Nixon demanded that they just turn Miranda into Cynthia Nixon. So now she's a lesbian who walks out on her family and has apparently never seen a black person before, after 20, 30 years in New York. So she's like, goes back to school and she goes to enter her college class and the professor is black. And she's like, oh, you're the professor? But you're black.
You're kidding.
Oh
and
my God.
She's like, oh, but your hair, you have braids. Can I touch your hair?
You're kidding me.
No way.
There's no way that happened.
There is. Wait, there's a clip somewhere. Let me find it.
Oh my God, please find it.
And she goes into a whole explanation. Oh, well, I wasn't suggesting that a black person couldn't be a teacher because, oh my God. And then Charlotte and Harry, the daughter gets transed.
Oh, come on.
No.
The daughter was like 12. So the teacher, they trans the daughter at school, change her name, change her gender, everything, keep it from the parents as a secret. So then they call Charlotte and the husband in for the meeting to let them know this is the way it is. Rose is now a boy named Rock, and that's how it's going to be, and you better get on board. And there's half a second where you can see maybe he questions it for half a second, and then never again. And the closest to questioning it that we get is they're walking out, and he says to her, boy, it's very humbling for someone who's not your child's parent to tell you what your child is. I'm like, you moron!
Oh my God.
It is satanic. It is demonic. It
Bad.
is horrid.
Oh my God.
It's repugnant. It's humbling. Like, what kind of man are you that you allow this to happen? If I had kids, God help the bitch teacher that tries to tell my child that they're trans.
I'm so glad I never watched the show.
Me too.
I never will.
The reason I didn't watch it, I know, is because of you, Mike. Because I remember, I was like half a second curious, and you were going off about it being woke, and I was like, maybe I don't want to watch this because this is one of those things I don't want to ruin for myself because I love Sex in the City, like the original. I'm just like, I'm just gonna pretend it ended like when it ended, and just it never like this doesn't.
You know what though? The
exist in
warning
my
signs
world.
were there though, right? Because with no Samantha, is it really Sex in the City without Samantha? So I don't know.
She did the right thing.
Or Big, like there's like they killed off Mr. Big. That's what I heard. I heard from you, Mike, that they killed off Mr. Big in the first episode, and I was like, I'm out. I'm already out. Like if there's no Mr. Big, there's no fucking point.
The series was like if you get a very nice, expensive box in the mail, and you're like, "Ooh, I have a gift," and you open it up, and there's nothing inside, and then you've kind of accepted the hollowness that it's empty, and then they kill him. It's like if a hand comes out of the box and punches you in the face.
Oh my God. Oh, this sounds so bad. Real quick, I have to get this massive super chat, and we're gonna play it right after this. Ian So Forth, thank you for the 50 pounds. That is so generous. Thank you. Says, as someone who is half Scottish and half Arabic, I'm offended that they canceled the Haggis Hookah Ranger. What the fuck? Was that a thing?
No,
I don't remember that.
But that would be a cool one.
I kind of want it to be now.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm like, wait, what?
Make our own reboot.
Oh my God, we should. Thank you, Ian. That is so generous. Thank you. And then there was another super chat here. Thank you, Bass Player 2011 Iffy. Thank you for $10. It says, this has been brought up several times over the years, and the response is the same. Casting didn't notice until after the show aired, and the actors didn't care about Power Rangers. And And I think that, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't think the actors cared at all. We certainly did not hear about them caring about this. This wasn't a topic of conversation back then.
You know why? Because there was no social media back then.
Yes. And on top of that too, they were just happy to have a job. They did not care,
Yes.
nor did they make the connections of the color. And like when I met Walter Jones, he didn't know. He was just like, I'm just the Black Ranger. And he didn't think of like it being a double entendre of the fact that, oh, he's the black one. Like they just thought the uniform was it. That was what they thought mostly. And that's what kids thought. And then
yes, that's what we thought.
I guarantee if you go to conventions and that question is brought up, all the actors will say the same thing. We weren't paying attention to that because they weren't.
they were not. There was one more super chat here. Shanotsky, thank you for the $1.99. Says, I hate Picard. They turned him into a fake robot.
Yeah.
Picard season 3 is amazing, though. I stand by it.
Look,
yeah, I heard it got good.
I will argue
very
that
strong.
I don't know if I will say amazing, Dante. I mean, he had a lot to work with there.
Was damn good.
It was okay. Like it was adequate because it was still a mess.
It only had 2 flaws. First flaw is that they kept 7 and 9 as 7 and 9 didn't name her Annika Hansen. And they tried to make Todd Stashwick calling her Annika offensive, but it's not. It's basically saying, no, you accomplished something. You escaped Borg control. Number 2, they didn't get Denise Crosby in. And they should have as Sela, the Romulan who is behind the whole thing, because that would have been a very Wrath of Khan level parallel to it, instead of just relying on the Borg Queen. Because there's a joke among Star Trek writers, if you don't have an idea, just write about the Borg.
That makes sense. But no, like I give, mind you, I didn't watch every other season of this garbage show.
Oh, I didn't either. I only saw season 3.
Yeah, I only watched season 3 because people told me it was good and Worf was back. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna watch it.
So weird seeing Worf's ears.
It was weird. But still, like I tip my hat to the guy because he definitely had a lot of trash to work with and he made something out of basically complete garbage. So I tip my hat, and he finally gave us like what we didn't get in Star Wars. Like he got the whole cast back together. That was beautiful to see. It was a great scene to like watch the Enterprise come out with the whole people on the bridge and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff, great. But really, at the end of the day, it was polished turd, man. Like it was like, that they didn't have really a lot to work with because it was, Picard season 1 and 2 were fucking garbage. So it's just an unfortunate situation. At least they were able to do something. That's how I feel about it. That's personal. It's a personal thing. But I appreciate that you liked it.
Oh yeah, no, I really dug it. I like the whole like a mind virus thing, and it was very topical in that way with the young people being infected with the mind virus. And
yeah, that's true.
I don't know. There was a lot I kind of pulled from it.
That's true. That's good. I'm really glad. Now we have this clip here that Mike shared, so let's watch this. I'm interested. Okay, here we go.
Hey, that's where the professor sits.
I am the professor.
You're the professor? But you're blah, blah, black.
You're the professor?
Yes.
What?
You seem so surprised.
Well, your braids.
A law professor can't.
But you're black with braids. Can I touch your hair?
Oh, shit. Sorry. I thought it was the whole clip.
No, it's okay. That's funny. Does she actually say, but you're black?
She goes on into like a 5-minute diatribe about like, well, but I didn't mean that black people can't be professors. I've just never seen one. And your braids, they're so beautiful. Oh my God.
It's almost ridiculous. So this woman has lived in New York her whole life and she's never seen a black professor.
You can't hide from black people, even in Queens.
Also, she's
as if
a
those
lawyer.
bitches ever went to Queens.
Yeah.
Also, she's a lawyer, so it's like I'm sure you've.
She quits being a lawyer because the Muslim ban.
Oh my
fired
God!
her.
Everything you tell me about this show, I want to just
come down to the peons.
Oh my God, that's awful.
And then she starts banging a non-binary bull dyke.
Oh God!
Why did they
who
do
just
this?
like abuses the shit out of her, but it's okay because it's a non-binary.
I heard it's got more seasons. Are you gonna keep watching it?
Oh, I can't wait.
Wait! It got picked up for another season?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it's gonna be on season 3.
People are watching this?
I guess.
I think hate watching.
It has to be.
That's the only explanation.
I don't know if it's hate watching because I'm like, I know one of my friends who's a liberal, and she loved the first season. She's watching it and she's like, yeah, it's great. And I'm
It's
like,
great.
really? Is it great? She's like,
Oh my
you
God,
don't like it, but it's great. And I'm like,
Cautionary tale.
Yikes.
Seems so
The thing is, too, the original was like the most politically incorrect series.
Yeah, it really was.
So now they're just doing it in the opposite way now.
Yeah, now
they're overcompensating. That's what they're doing.
They're shot on a green screen, and nobody's getting laid. It should just be called "No Sex, No City." That's basically what it is.
Dude, it's because this is what they're doing, Script Doctor. They're like overcompensating and they're like basically apologizing for their hit show that didn't have like whatever, enough black people, enough gay people, enough whatever, insert your line here, people. And they're just like, we're going to put trans in there and this in there and that in there because we're like just apologizing for everything we've done in the past and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my God, like.
Oh, and they each get an emotional support black. So they give them each a black friend who, of course, has no character traits, no stories, no nothing other than to be the
magical Negro
support.
is what they got.
Yes,
they all got a magical Negro. Is what you're saying.
Oh my God, you just said emotional support black.
That's basically what it is. Who they talk about themselves to.
So I mean, they're essentially like a fridge or an appliance.
You know, in a weird way, you're kind of talking me into watching it.
I had more fun covering it on my channel than I've ever had doing anything, but it was horrible. And Carrie, I loved her in the original, but I mean, she is demonic. I swear, Carrie has been possessed by the demon Pazuzu. I mean, she is just not a person.
We have another gentleman joining us. It's Tom.
Oh my God, it's my favorite. Mike.
Tom, did you like Sex in the City? Were you a fan?
I love having sex in the city, in my bedroom, in the country, on the sofa, in the car. I wouldn't remember. No, I've never watched that show. Never once.
You would like it.
I think you would too. I think you would like the first series, not the new one. Yeah. The first series. The first series is good. Wait, who do we think Tom is? I feel like Tom is kind of a Miranda. Do you think he's a Samantha?
Is that what's her face? Who's Samantha? Which one's Samantha?
The whore.
The whore.
Who plays her? I mean,
Kim Cattrall.
Kim Cattrall.
Oh, I'll take that any day of the week. Kim Cattrall was in Police Academy.
What were you going to say, Nina? Maybe like early Miranda.
Yeah, early Miranda is what I thought. Like very.
I have no idea.
I could see.
I don't know why.
Before she was a lesbian.
I could see that.
I don't know if I could go gay or lesy. I mean, but
neither would Miranda.
No,
she's also. They've all had brain transplants.
Oh my God, it's like literally like that Simpsons episodes when they're like the horror one where they're getting like their brains sucked out. Like, they're all becoming that. Ian So4, thank you for the 25. It says there's already a name for No Sex, No City. It's called a farmer.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow.
Actually, farmers have a lot of sex usually. As long as they have
don't farmers have a lot of sex? Yeah.
That's all they did was farm and bang.
There's not much else. Yeah. Not much
else exactly. There's not much else to do. You go to the field.
Like 9 kids, yeah.
And then you need people to pick your crops. Yeah.
Exactly. Got to make those farm hands.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's what the baby boom was really all about. Don't let them fool you.
This is true. This is true. Now you, Tom, you came at the most amazing time because I'm sure
that's what she said.
You sure? Oh my God. Because now I have to play this.
That's what she said.
Because I'm sure you love Blake Lively updates, but that's what we're going to be talking about next.
Oh, lovely.
I haven't heard any updates on her in a bit.
Dude, a big one dropped like yesterday. So this is a big deal. So this guy, the guy that was the actor that was in charge of the birthing scene or whatever, he's come out and he's made a statement. So I'm just going to read this. It says, key witness speaks out and contradicts Blake Lively's false allegations in her sexual harassment lawsuit against Justin Baldoni about pivotal birth scene. Another crack on Blake's lawsuit. Actor Adam, I can't figure out this last name, Mondinchin or something, who played the OBGYN doctor in the birth scene for the film It Ends With Us, just shut down her version of the events. Adam said Blake mischaracterized their scenes together in her bombshell sexual harassment lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. He added, my experience working with her is very different from the one she described in her lawsuit. He also said, indeed, I was surprised to read her description of the scene. In addition, Adam says nothing unusual or inappropriate happened. Blake was not nearly nude, in quotes. She wore a covered full hospital gown, black shorts, and torso covering, prosthetics to make her appear pregnant. Blake never expressed discomfort while filming. Adam was not Justin's unqualified friend. He's a trained actor with legit credits, which he provides. Like, he provides all of the credits that he has. Adam says he's willing to testify under oath and to tell the truth. His account joins the growing pile of witnesses, video footage, and texts that contradict Blake's narrative. So that the receipts are piling up. This is the dude who's come out and made this statement. He was the OBGYN. And there's more details. Like if you go read the article, like he's given like detailed accounts of who he is, what his background is. He's not just some guy off the street the way Blake Lively was pretending. There's also another update, another couple of updates where one of the girls, I forget her name, the one that kind of went viral about that whole thing with Blake and that other chick being at the interview and she was being mean to them. I think her name is Flaw, the Norwegian chick. Flaw. I think her name is Flaw. She came out yesterday and she put out a video about this new resurfaced interview that's come out, or resurfaced, not an interview. It's like it's an award being presented to Blake Lively by Salma Hayek. And Salma Hayek is like kind of going off about how Blake Lively is amazing and how she's this and that and the other. But in it, she says something really interesting. And she says that Blake Lively took on the biggest bully in Hollywood, which at the time is kind of rumored to have been Harvey Weinstein. So there was like this thing that Salma alluded to. Now people are trying to find out what this actually means. But the point is that she apparently took on Harvey Weinstein and wasn't afraid of Harvey Weinstein and to tell this guy to go fuck himself. But she's afraid of Justin Baldoni and didn't want to say anything when she was being
nice
uncomfortable.
Pool?
Like, or nice pool. It's kind of weird for her to like just be like, oh yeah, I'm just so uncomfortable. I'm gonna go file a sexual harassment complaint where she's taken on Harvey Weinstein in the past. It all doesn't check out. And then there's one last update, which is that her and Tay are rumored to have made up. So their publicists are coming out and saying that, well, at least Tay-Tay's is, that like Blake has apologized and they're going to be their besties again and blah, blah, blah. But she is going to be deposed. Very likely Taylor Swift is going to be deposed in this lawsuit. So that's the updates. What are your thoughts? Mike, give us your thoughts on this.
First of all, didn't Salma Hayek have some shady shit going on?
Did she? I don't know.
Her husband was part of that one company.
Yeah, her husband's a multi-billionaire. So
what the hell was the name of that company that got busted like 2 years ago or a year ago for like some shady shit?
I can't remember. Yeah.
I don't know the detail. I've just heard some shady shit surrounding her. These people are so full of
Francois Henry Pinault is as her husband. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. That's when she got the new titties. When she bagged the billionaire.
Oh yeah, she did. Like her tits did get.
Yeah,
I think she
talks about she's had no work done. It's like, where did those come from then?
She always
a leg
had
broke
massive
her.
titties, but
Yeah, because so she, like, you can see them in El Mariachi or Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That's before she's had any work done. That's her 100%. But no, I think so. A lot of actors who large breast actors have been getting what's called this underbra thing. So it's a bra that's like under the skin. So it's not an implant. It's just kind of hiking everything up a little
Tom,
bit.
you should get that.
I know that would be amazing.
My God.
Yeah. So it's basically they're all natural except there's an apparatus underneath that's keeping them perky.
That was it. There was some Balenciaga shit with her.
Her husband was part of the company. Yes, that's what it was. Yep.
Oh, ew, that's like pedo shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim
Ooh.
Kardashian was part of that situation too, I think.
Oh my God, did you? This is totally like side note, but did you hear about like the whole thing about Khloe Kardashian and how she says she's like an autosexual now?
What does that even mean?
Does that mean
I
when you like to
know.
get choked?
Isn't that just mean like she's asleep whenever she does it?
See, I
Well,
know
that makes sense for
That's
her.
not surprising. She seems like she would be
That's right.
boring.
That's Cosby sexual, I think.
I thought that was like when women get turned on by being in cars, like especially the ones that go like vroom vroom, like the ones that vibrate and like they're like,
Wait, is that
oh,
what it means?
no, that's what I thought it meant.
That's a thing?
Oh.
It is a thing, but that's not what it's called. But so I looked it up and it says autosexuality refers to a sexual orientation where individuals experience primary sexual attraction towards themselves rather than towards others.
So
I
basically
think
a
with a girl
self-centered
who
twat.
was that way, I guess you could say. She would get off on herself. Like she would just
Yeah.
look in the mirror. She wouldn't even watch porn. She would just look in the mirror.
Yeah, she's just
So
gonna
it's
look
like
in the mirror.
narcissism squared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it says.
Oh my God.
So she's
No,
just
that's insane.
basically, yeah, she's just doing herself in the mirror the whole time.
Why
Like,
would she admit that even?
I don't know. Isn't this what like Emma Watson is too? Though she was all like, "I'm gonna marry myself." I
That's
don't
an
know.
option?
I think that's more of a cope, right? Like
Yeah.
this is something that's
Yes.
totally different. Like this is like some weird shit.
This is Buffalo Bill level stuff.
Oh, these people are gonna have a fucking flag for it. I guarantee.
Oh, yeah,
you.
they are.
Look up
God, that's coming
autosexual
next.
flag. I
Yeah, they
Oh my
are.
God,
guarantee
let's
you.
see. Oh my
What is
God,
it going to be? A
let's
motor
see if
looking
there
at
was.
itself in the mirror?
Is there an autosexual flag? Oh my God, they have one.
Oh my God! It's
No.
actually the colors of an engine and a mirror.
That can't be real. That cannot be real.
Oh, I guarantee you it's real. These people are fucking nuts. I've been arguing with the asexuals all fucking week.
Oh my God, look, it says meeting blue represents the relationship with oneself, self-care and
I thought
compassion.
asexual just meant frigid.
It does.
Gray represents the sexual
But they
spectrum
got a
as some
flag.
autosexual people identify as
You get
being
a flag.
on
You
the
get a flag.
A-spec.
Wait,
What
they
the
only
fuck
get
is
two colors?
A-spec? Yes, it's a blue
Shouldn't it be
They don't
and
need
gray.
any more than that.
That,
One
oh my God,
lonely
we live in
color.
dumb times.
Wait, it
Yeah.
says red heart with arrow may appear in some versions of the autosexual flag.
A red heart with an arrow.
What?
Oh my God. We do live in clown times, man. This is fucking insane.
I'm
That's just
looking
too
up.
crazy.
Ed.
Oh my
I don't know,
God.
man. I think humanity we've had a good run, right? Like I think we're done. Though. I think humanity has jumped the shark.
Yeah, I think we need a
I
reset.
agree.
I think Verbal's right.
I agree. And I think
need
it's
a nice
coming
hard
soon.
reset.
I think it's coming soon because they apparently like they're freaking cloning dire wolves now. They're gonna eat us.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's gonna
time.
happen.
Well,
It's gonna
dinosaurs are
happen.
next. You know,
The time of
Yeah.
man is past.
It's
we're gonna have to
gone.
be dealing with AI dinosaurs.
AI
it'll be like
dinosaurs is next. that's
Terminator
for
versus
sure.
dinosaur versus predator versus you name it. We're gonna be fucked.
We're fucked.
It'll be
Ian So
amazing.
Forth for 25 says it was a joke, not a dig at farmers. Thank you for your service.
I think he got yelled at in the chat potentially.
Oh no, you're fine. It's just funny because farmers, that's all they do is grow shit
Hey.
and bang. Ian So Forth for another 10 says nobody wants to see what represents their relationship with oneself. It should just be a mirror. It's like Narcissus. That's basically what you are.
Yeah.
I'm turned on by myself. That's the story of Narcissus.
Also, would that make her a lesbian then? Because I mean, she's looking at herself, right? She's getting off on her.
It doesn't mean she necessarily likes other
Female
women.
body. That's true. But I mean, like the female body is turning her on though. So
yeah,
I can believe I can just believe that there are people that are just that narcissistic that it's them. It's all about them. It has nothing to do with sex at that point.
yeah.
Right? It's just all about them.
Nah, I want to know how many guys have this situation, right? Like, how many straight guys have this?
Because it's not in our
situation
DNA
right here.
This I can see this is where cat ladies start, right? Like this is the same thing, right? Because there's plenty of women who can live without sex, right? And that's basically what it is.
That's because we have dildos.
There you go.
You know what? And don't get me started on dildos, because I'm one that's for making a law that lesbians shouldn't be allowed to use dildos.
A law.
Because they made their choice.
How do you enforce that, Tom?
I don't believe in lesbians.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of vegetables out there that could just replace the
exactly. Mike just said it, the exact truth. There is no such thing as a lesbian.
I don't believe in lesbians.
Yep.
The
gay man is real.
I've heard gay people say that like there's no
just
such
like
thing
what
as
Jason Lee
lesbian.
said. I can understand, needing dick.
See, I'm still confused. I'm still confused about the bisexual and if they actually do.
Oh, I
exist or
really
not.
don't believe in
No,
those
that's just called college.
That's just called being greedy.
You want your cake and eat it too.
Literally.
That's called being greedy.
I don't know. I've gone back and forth about the bisexual thing. Like I've heard, like I've met people that like both, and I'm like,
do they say that though, or do they actually? Because I've met people who say that. And
No, I've dated a couple of bi chicks. They are really into chicks and they're really into guys. And
I know
people
that are married
just
to a
say
guy
that
and a
to
woman,
you.
like they're in a triad, is what they
Yeah,
call
but you're
it.
Canadian, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, but they're an Americans in America.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
God. I don't know.
Stop trying to change the subject.
I just don't want this to catch on. Like, I don't want this auto sexuality thing to be like fetch, right? I just don't want it to catch on at all. Just
Was that the female version of an incel? I mean, like, because like you just said, I agree with you. There's no such thing as this in the male culture. Maybe one out of
there really is, Tom. There is dudes that like to fuck themselves. Like that I can see
it's called masturbation.
I mean, getting off and just being like, look, there's some men who just would rather do that than just put up with women's bullshit. I get that. But
they look at themselves in the mirror and back off. That's
or men's bullshit. And if you are just happen to be gay, I mean, yeah. And in that case, like,
wait, what guy looks in the mirror and jacks off?
Not
like one of those. Like,
I think I probably met some.
Europe. Like, is that what it is?
Mike, that's where we defer to you on this one. Yeah.
Trust me, I've met some who I guarantee you.
Wow.
It's true. They do it. It happens.
There's enough Metro guys
I hate
out
that
there.
I know
can
that.
buy it.
That again, yeah, that's true. The metrosexuals are always weird to me too, because I'm like, if you take longer to get ready than me, because I have like curly hair, like it takes me a long time to do this hair. And if you're a dude and you have like basically Mike's hair, but it takes
I'm
you
Italian.
longer,
I got ethnic hair. It gets poofy if I don't take care of it.
but the volume of the hair, Mike, the volume is not
there's
the same.
volume. I try to contain the volume.
I'm just saying, if it takes you that long to get ready, there's a problem.
If I go to the beach, my hair is looking like yours.
How long does it take you to get ready, Mike?
How dare you? Not long at all.
You might as well just fucking ask him his age while you're at it.
Couple
Jesus
minutes,
Christ.
yeah,
I'm so
couple
sorry.
minutes,
Was
couple
that
minutes.
rude? I'm so sorry.
Then you're gonna ask him how
couple
much he
minutes.
weighs. Fuck it.
For hours.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna play this clip for myself. Hold on, I have a clip for this. I'll just do this one.
That's a Karate Kitty. Side chop.
Great form.
Okay, let's talk about Superman real quick, because I know Tom has to go
Wait,
soon.
before we do, can I just say, have you guys seen the asexuals melting down?
No, what happened with asexual?
I don't know what it's about though, but I've been seeing it like kind of here and there.
It's so good. It's so good because
What are they melting down about?
I thought that the transes and the furries were the most insufferable groups of all time, but now The asexuals
Nobody really
have
gives a
entered the
shit
chat.
about what they think.
Okay, hang on.
Nobody.
For
Nobody.
people who don't know, Mike, explain what an asexual is because I forgot. I don't know.
Can someone explain it to me?
Traditional person just didn't care about sex at all. Like it wasn't even part of their mind or anything. Like
Which
that
God
was-
bless. Like I'm
yes.
fucking jealous. I wish, if only. Like they must have so much free time on their hands. They don't have to work out men's bullshit, women's bullshit. I am fucking jealous. If there's one group of people in the world that I am jealous of, it is the goddamn asexuals. So shut the fuck up. You people have it better than anyone. Like everyone here is stressing about dating and their relationships. They don't have to deal with any of that.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
anyway, J.K. Rowling made a joke. God forbid, literal genocide. She literally genocided the asexuals because it was
Who made this joke? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
J.K. Rowling.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
I'm quitting vaping, so I've got my nicotine mint that I'm choking on.
She gets in trouble a lot.
I'll
So
find the
let's
tweet. I'll send it to you. But it was
Yeah.
like International Asexual Day, and she made a very accurate joke. And they are fucking melting down and talking about the discrimination that the asexuals face.
I wouldn't know an asexual if I came across one.
Why do they care?
You can probably tell. They're probably looking a little funky. You could probably smell
I'm trying
them.
to look this.
Well,
I'm
no,
just trying
I
to
mean,
look-
why do they care? Like, it's not like they're going to lose any
Here, I'm sending it.
dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. There's an article that says creator of intersexuality day responds. Like the creator of the fucking
wait, and I saw her.
Day?
The asexual day. I saw her. She's got the
Oh, for
tits
God's
pushed
sake.
up to here. Look at what she's wearing. She's wearing a fucking mini skirt. The tits out to here, but she's an asexual. Get the
This is
fuck out
her.
of here.
This is her. So creator of International
Oppression Day.
Asexual
Can somebody needs
responds.
to take one for the team and find out, because I guarantee you, if some super hot guy came up to this chick, you'd see how long she'd be an asexual. Can
I'll
some
take that.
really hot guy out there take one for the team and go on a fact-finding mission?
I'll
for
take
us?
that one for the team.
Please
You do it, Tom. You do it. Okay.
By the
let's
way,
do this.
I messaged her and asked
She
if
won't
she'd
be
come on my
asexual.
podcast.
She won't be asexual afterwards. I'll tell you that much.
This chick, you messaged her?
I
Oh my
wish you would. There's
God.
no way that would happen. I would never get that lucky. But
There's
oh my
no
god,
way she's gonna agree
dream
to
guest.
climb. The
Now I
co-creator,
know.
the co-creator. Okay, so she's not the actual
There's
creator.
two of them.
There's two of them of International
Christ almighty.
Asexuality
That seems
Day.
odd. Like,
Dude, IAD sounds like some sort of retardation already.
Well, they couldn't call it
Sounds like
the Asexuality
Adidas.
International Day because that'd be aid, and then that would be weird.
well, they're the least likely to get it. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny.
I told you
Ye-
these people have a sweet ass deal.
Yasmin Benoit has accused J.K. Rowling of hijacking the conversation around sexual awareness. J.K. Rowling, best known for writing the Harry Potter novels, wrote a post on X Twitter on Sunday, April 6th, mocking a National Awareness Day, calling those making it people who want complete strangers to know they don't fancy a shag. Hold on, we need to go to the actual tweet. Let's go to
I
the
sent them
tweet.
this one.
Thank you. Let's see this. I feel like it's not doing it justice.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, here it is. It's not doing it justice. There's a graph and everything. Happy International Fake Oppression Day to everyone who wants complete strangers to know they don't fancy a shag. That's so funny.
She's
And then
right.
she's put this
Pretty good.
picture. And it explains it. Asexuality is where a person experiences little to no sexual attraction. Asexual
But these
can
people,
form
this is
deep
such a
emotional
made up
connection.
thing. These people are so full of shit because then I've seen all of them tweeting things like, well, I'm an asexual who's in a polyamorous relationship, and asexuality is a spectrum. And get the fuck out of here. Your ass is
I
on
know.
the spectrum.
Mike, I have actually heard that before. Like I've met someone who was like, somebody introduced me to someone who was asexual. And then I was like, so like, what does that mean? Kind of thing. Went through this thing. And then they're like, and then when I met that person, they were like, oh yeah, I'm in a poly relationship with like so and so, and I was so confused because I was like, wait, I thought you weren't sexually attracted to anyone, so how are you in a poly relationship with like 3 other people? This is way too much.
Let
to
me
keep
tell
up with.
you the jealousy that I have for these people. If I were an asexual, I could be running the fucking world. Like if there were a pie chart of my brain, it would just be like.
Don't you get it? This is how these women find
men.
financial security without actually having to put out. Right? They basically tell their boyfriend you can have a girlfriend, or vice versa.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like in the world of fiction, Al Bundy was kind of asexual because he did not want to have sex with Peg.
That was only after the first season or second season or whatever, though.
Yeah,
he still wanted to have sex, though, just not with Peg. See, that's the thing. He wanted to have sex, just not with Peg.
That's pretty normal, man. Like he wanted to have sex, just not with his wife. Like
exactly.
It's technically kind of like if all you have is your wife and you're not able to see anyone else, you are forced asexually.
Yeah, but no, Script. That's not true because he had biggins.
I was gonna say there was tons of episodes where he was trying to get laid by other means. Regardless, and nobody says shit.
Asexuality means no sexual desire at all, right?
Yeah, like you don't get boners. Like that's the thing.
You don't have a tip.
You have a fucking hormonal imbalance. Like go to a damn doctor or don't, and go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit.
They're doing that now. They're called autosexuals. They're
I don't understand. They're trying to say now that it's conversion therapy if you tell them that. So either get it fixed or don't. No one cares.
I don't understand how any
everyone a favor by taking yourself out of the
gives one fuck about this.
I don't understand how any of these people don't get jealous either. How there's not more murders, right? Like I just don't get it because like unless what is it with this? Is this generation just able to like turn that shit off in their brain? Like that's some primordial shit for men, right? Like,
why would I care if you're having sex or not, or if you
want to? I don't care. I don't care.
Well, no. I'm talking about in like a polyamorous situation, right? Like eventually somebody is going to get jealous. Right. Like it's just going to happen.
Well, yeah, those never work.
That's what I'm saying. It's a primordial thing with us. Somebody is eventually going to feel like they're getting the shit end of the stick. And I just, like I said, I don't understand how these people think these relationships are going to be able to last. I just don't.
I don't think they do, but then again, they don't really care. Like I find like a lot of these like new generation people don't really care about a relationship lasting that long because they'll just leave. They're just gonna bounce. Like they're not in it for the long haul. They're all like, oh, I just want to like get what I can out of this and then move along.
But also, have you seen these poly people? I mean,
they're fucking weird.
I don't get it. I can't find one fucking boyfriend, and these homely bitches have a whole fucking harem.
These are some other motherfuckers we're talking about here. I mean, like it's not even.
I mean, I can take ugly, but
it's like when you go to a nude beach, right? You're never going to see hot people at a nude beach.
Never.
No, that's true. It's always old saggy balls and like really
old
fat
saggy balls every time.
Every time, dude. You know what's so crazy is like. Matt Groening made fun of this poly shit, like in Futurama, way back in the day. You guys remember that movie where the alien was like making everybody fall in love with each other and shit? And that one poly chick was like, you know, she was like way ahead of the game because she was like banging like all these dudes. With, like,
I sent you, Nina, I sent you in the chat. We have a list of the ways that the asexuals are discriminated against.
Oh,
give me a break.
My God. Okay, we have a list.
No one person has the trans flag too. So it's like no wonder you're an asexual. You got your stuff chopped off. What do you expect?
How are you actually being discriminated against if you don't fuck anybody?
Right?
I don't get it. I don't get any of this. Okay, so this person I thought it said Miss Quack. I was like, do we really take this person seriously? Like, okay, Miss Quick. Miss Quick says ways that ace people. Okay, they're called ace people.
That's what they call
ace people are discriminated against. Parents demand grandkids. Oh my God!
That's just everybody.
You don't even technically have to have sex anymore for that. So that's cross that one off the board.
Dude,
how
is that a discrimination?
So it's like, when are you gonna have kids? That's discrimination now.
Yeah, how is that discrimination? That's
and again, you don't have to have sex to have kids. So why is that even on there?
That's some fucking Elon Musk shit right there.
Well, it's
Well, I'm just saying,
adoption, just
if you're really, 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 really asexual and you don't want to have sex and sex repulses you that much, you can still have children. There are plenty of options, right? So I don't know why that's on there.
You could adopt.
Exactly.
A lot of
turkey
shit,
baster.
Bingo.
Yeah, turkey baster for sure. The average romantic partners expect sex.
What do you care?
How
What do you care? See, it's the opposite with most gay men. They expect sex and no love.
Oh my God. Religious institutions tell you that you owe your partner sex.
What religious institutions?
What?
I thought
No,
they
they
were
don't.
kind of big on no sex.
Okay,
until
so they're
marriage.
basically just trying to shame people into sexless relationships is what they're doing.
What,
No,
religious-
actually, look, the Bible does talk about like, women, when you're married,
Are
you gotta give
obligated
your
to,
husband
yeah.
sex, 'cause
Oh,
otherwise
That part
you're
is
on-
technically true, but
people,
nobody's
but-
going to enforce it.
That's true. The Muslims
Yeah, it's
do
not
it
like
too.
you're-
And then if the wife can't provide, that's why the guy marries
It's
multiple
not like it's
women.
1944. Like,
Well, they
But
wanted
again,
even
they
back
also
then, they
just
were
not
pretty
get
more.
married.
Sorry, what was that?
No, so they can also just not get married.
Yeah.
or that.
And
but
like nowadays, that's like most people don't even anymore. So
oh my God.
My favorite is there's no asexual
ace-
representation in
bullshit.
cinema.
There's plenty of
Bitch,
times where people don't have sex.
Have you never seen Driving Miss Daisy? There is no way that old bitch was getting laid.
The first 6
She
seasons
had
of The Big
such a
Bang
fucking
Theory, that Sheldon
attitude.
character was never.
Oh,
Sheldon is
yeah.
clearly asexual.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Except, wait, didn't he bang that other girl? At
He
some
did, but it
point?
was such a big deal for him because
What
he
about
was
Murder,
not.
She Wrote?
He's not even attracted to the idea of sex. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
only
he
does it as a
wasn't.
birthday present.
Yeah, you guys are right. He was really asexual, though. Like I think that's the closest I've ever seen in media.
Well, not only
because
that,
he was,
most
like, just-
characters before the modern day, it wasn't about sex. So unless it was a romance story where you had a romantic lead and like nobody was really, it's never about the relationship. So in any case, a lot of these cases, you could say they were asexual because it doesn't matter. You could even say Luke Skywalker was asexual. Except for
Oh
he
no,
had a
he
thing for
wanted
his
to
sister.
bang his sister.
That's the
Yeah,
thing. That's what they said. Except
wanted to lay his
for
ass.
you know,
Murder, She
He wanted
Wrote.
that ass,
He wasn't
that's
getting
for
any,
sure.
and that's why she was killing everyone.
that's probably true.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
That's the motive.
Consent harassment from strangers. Constant harassment from strangers if you say you don't want kids and more.
What's
Who?
in more?
Like these people,
Like
think
marriage?
That everyone
Nobody
cares
cares.
about them so
Nobody
much.
cares if you're having kids or not. In
Please
fact,
don't
most of
have
us would
kids.
hope that a lot of these people don't have kids.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't have kids. Like, I'm kind of like on the boat where I'm like, there's too many kids by too many weirdos. This is why the kids are turning weird.
Thank you for taking yourself out of the gene pool, though.
I'll tell you what
Dang.
happened. What happened was the asexuals saw like, the trans, the non-binary folks getting all the attention. And they're like, hey, what
Mhm.
about me? What about us? Right?
What
That's
about
what
me,
this is.
me?
Well,
Yeah.
and
This
that
isn't
one,
fair.
that one has the trans flag in her handle. It's like, yeah, if somebody cut my dick off, I'd be an asexual too.
Yeah,
Ain't
they're all
rocket
like,
science.
they're all becoming, what's it called?
Eunuchs.
Inox? Yeah, eunuchs.
Eunuchs.
They're like,
Then what they do, they slice their forearm up and sew it
Oh,
into a mound
no.
of flesh.
Oh,
vaguely
yeah. No, we've
resembling
all
a
seen that
dick.
Frankenstein shit. It's
Yeah, we've
pretty
all
bad,
seen that
man.
garbage. Yeah.
God, that's awful.
A friend of mine showed it to me. It looked like something that got put into the food processor on pulse mode.
Oh
Who would find a
God.
Reebok punk penis even remotely attractive? I
But
don't
also, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's fake. It's fake at the end.
Oh,
of
and
the day.
I
It's not
read,
even
I
real.
None of this
have the
works, like
misfortune
in
of
my
reading
brain.
about what it smelt like.
Oh God, no.
Oh, don't even get us started.
Please
on
don't
that business.
describe it. Please
It's
don't
even
do this
worse.
to me.
It's supposedly even worse if you're going the other way, right? Because you have an open gash forever, basically.
Yeah, if you're male to female.
That's
yeah.
what I had
I'm
read.
changing the subject. Ian
Please do,
Sorboy,
Superman,
thank
'cause I
you
gotta
for
run
the
here soon.
10. Yes, there
Sorry,
needs to be
I
more
sent us
ace
on a-
representation in
You went down a
cinema.
dark path.
I sent
Bond,
us on a side quest.
please put that away, Money Penny.
You're going down a dark path that I can't follow.
Oh my God. Can you, Tom? You're better at accents than me, and whatever. Can you
Please
do this?
put away that money penny. I don't know if I do a very good
That was good.
Sean Connery. I don't know.
That was better than
That's
mine.
not one of my
Have you
better
seen the
ones.
clip of him with Barbara Walters talking about hitting?
Sometimes a
Smacking
woman needs a good
bitches?
slap.
Yeah. Thank you, Ian. Thank the Lord you sent the super chat so
You
I can
gotta
change
smack
that
a bitch once in a
conversation.
while to get her in line. Yes.
And when he was
And
asked
he did
about what
not
treat he'd
back
be, he'd
down
say
from
he'd be a
that.
slapling.
Oh
Yeah,
my!
she's
He
like, you think that's appropriate? Well, sometimes if a woman's acting out of it, so
he wasn't sorry about
He
that
was
at
a
all.
man's got to
not.
do what a man's got to do.
Oh, did we care what this
did
chick's
no
response was going to be to J.K. Rowling? Okay, we don't care. Apparently.
Yeah, what was her response even?
We
We don't even know
don't
what J.K. said. I didn't even hear what J.K. said. But
Oh yeah, no. What did
I read
the
you the
AIDS
J.K.
creators
one.
Oh,
say?
did you? I
read-
missed that.
Yeah,
What did she
I read.
say? Oh,
It was the tweet in the back. That
okay, I'll grab
About
it. Here.
strangers telling them they don't want to shag. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was hers. Okay, gotcha.
And then she's like,
oh,
how-
Yeah. Okay.
So then asexual is an umbrella term. Like, this is so stupid. Okay, so
Demisexuals.
where she
Oh,
says
I love
a
that.
lot of people. What introduction to International Asexuality Day has now been through J.K. Rowling's hating on it. She says it's becoming a conversation in so many spaces I haven't seen before, but for a negative reason. She kind of hijacked the occasion.
Good.
Thank God. So that's pretty much it. Because she just wants to be.
It's not like you're gonna
One
go home
in
and
three
celebrate
Brits
with
think
anybody.
asexuality can be cured.
Oh my
Get
god.
My
laid.
favorite. One of these people sent me a Wikipedia article of discrimination against asexuals, and I was like, I gotta read this. What the fuck? And of course, there was nothing in it. It was like, oh, people make jokes about them or something. Look at it! I told you she has the tits hanging out.
Wow,
Oh
she's
my
posting thirst traps, talking about she's
Yeah.
asexual.
But no,
Bullshit.
Wow.
it said in the thing though, it was like of a study of 11 asexuals, however many percent said that they had jokes made at their expense.
Because that's all they could
Study
find.
of 11.
So she says, I think it's shown exactly what International Asexuality Day is needed, why it's needed, and why asexual activism is needed. Oh my God. Education and awareness is so important. I think the influx of comments I've received really shows what asophobia. They're
What?
making up phobias now.
Nobody cares.
Phobia looks like homophobia, but like asexual phobia.
Well, she's just actually parroting the general speech, just replacing trans with asexuality.
Yup.
It is. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
or
trying to just-
homophobia.
yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to make
looks
it a
like-
cause.
And it's something that exists. No, it doesn't.
Nobody
Because there's
cares.
a lot of people who don't believe me when I talk about it. That's because nobody cares.
Look
Like,
at you, bitch.
Nobody cares.
You're dressed like half a hooker. You got the tits out to here. You got
And
your
trust me,
vagina
if you're
hanging
not
out,
sleeping
like-
with anybody, they ain't sticking around long. So
No.
Oh my God. All right.
So
that's
wait,
enough.
like she so basically she's just a cock tease who like I don't get what she's doing here.
I don't get it because I don't either because she's like she's saying she doesn't find anyone attractive and doesn't want to have sex with anyone, but also look at my titties. So I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't
They have
get
all
this
their
logic.
jargon to justify it, though. My body isn't sexual, and the cis het normative blah blah blah.
Okay,
If she
wait.
rallies them all together, it's gonna break out into an orgy.
Wait, this actually gets better.
Oh,
It says
Lord.
there's thousands of people who couldn't have cared less about asexuality before. That's true.
Still
We
don't.
don't.
we still
Still
don't.
don't.
But you guys are hilarious.
Some of them did, but not all of them. Now being like, oh, so this is the next group we're targeting. Now they're repeating the same comments uncritically. What? Bitch, nobody cares about this. And you're just
Look at the
making
next
shit up.
paragraph, though. These people want to be a protected class.
The wave of critical comments, Benoit says, should be a sign of the government. Oh my God, for the government to implement protections for asexual people based on KCL's research.
What protection?
What is
From
oh my-
who?
You
Wow.
talk the average single woman in her 30s or 40s. she's an asexual. Like, how long do I have to not get laid before I can consider myself an asexual? 'Cause
Right.
I'm halfway there.
Tuesday.
Like, what's the difference between being like
Tuesdays
asexual and having a dry spell?
Exactly. Like, I'm
No,
asexual.
the
all the
difference
time.
is-
Yeah,
5 years.
I'm like asexual at this point.
No, hang on, guys. The difference, in all seriousness, the difference is they literally don't. They're supposed to not feel turned on by anyone. Like that's the whole point.
Which is
right?
why
Like,
I don't even understand why they give a shit.
Okay, so
Right.
then my question is, why do they want a relationship with somebody, right?
Exactly.
Like why want a relationship?
Again, they have all their jargon. to
Dress like Cardi
justify that.
B, right? And they get
Mhm.
mad when the guy wants sex.
No, yeah, it's weird. It's illogical. I mean, it doesn't because usually I can tell you this: the asexual people I've met don't look like this. They look.
No.
You've met
Kind of-
asexuals?
I have met asexuals, and they're very like kind of like they them look like they're very plain.
I was
like
gonna
they
say
don't
most of the ones I've known are they're very kind of just they don't
Everyone's
give a
meeting
shit.
asexuals.
they
but
don't put out. But that's
I
what
meet
that's
the whores.
the point
They
is that
clearly
they don't
put out.
they don't put out their sexuality. Like her
Yeah.
putting out her titties is kind of like the antithesis of being asexual because you're saying, look at my titties. Asexual people don't care about titties. They don't care about like this look because they just
No,
want.
I agree with Verbal. I think she's just likes
feel
being
sexual.
a tease. That's a
I
difference.
think this bitch is confused. I don't.
No, I think she just likes being a tease, which is a big
Yeah.
difference. Like, yeah, you may not necessarily have sex or give it up all the time. That don't mean you don't like it. Part of the tease is part of the kink for her, right? I bet you $5 just
Probably.
looking at her. Because I agree with you, Nina. I've known a few people, and you're right. 9 times out of 10, this is the farthest shit from they could. I really don't believe this because most people I know that are asexual give a fuck less what other people think of them. That's
Exactly.
the last thing on their
I think
goddamn
they're
mind.
probably on so many prescription drugs and SSRIs that
They
they
really
can't
don't
get
care.
it up. That's what I think.
That also could be.
No,
That
because
also-
I've
Most of the
dated
time, the
guys
ones
who are
I
on
know-
so many antidepressants that they have a million different fucking sexual dysfunctions. That's what I think these people.
Most
are.
of the ones
And
I know
guarantee
are
you,
like a.
If Idris Elba were to show interest in her, you'll see how fast.
Oh,
she
she's
won't be an
yeah,
asexual.
immediately hetero again. Look, Darren says this is trolling. That's all that's happening here, and I kind of
Pretty
agree.
much.
It's just trolling everybody.
Yeah,
well,
2
I
out
don't
of the
think
3
so.
I
I
know.
think they're.
Says asexual is just code for a closeted furry. I kind of think that you might be right. Okay, real quick, Tom, give us your take about the whole thing about I was gonna say Elon Musk. James Gunn is like cutting the movie or something like that because there was a screening and they didn't like the movie apparently, according to some.
I have
Not
not heard
surprising.
anything to support this as anything that's real.
There
this
are rumors that
story-
there are reshoots happening, but that is common with any film. So
I haven't heard anything about any recent reshoots. Because as far as I know, they're shooting Supergirl.
well,
but-
Gore mentioned that there was talk of them doing reshoots on Superman. So
Yeah, but even the people that I know out in LA, they have heard this. The first time they heard about it was on Twitter, and when I found out what it was from a Snyder fan.
Yeah, that's what I was
with an
gonna say,
agenda,
yeah.
and I'm like,
But-
if that's it for now, like I'm waiting for a corroboration, but so far I haven't heard anything on reshoots.
But my question is,
outside
I
of
don't
Dan
feel like it's a big
Hathaway.
deal anyway because reshoots are they're common. They happen. Like,
Well, hang on, guys, hang on, because I don't even think this is about reshoots. They're saying they're just cutting the movie. There's no reshoot happening. They're just cutting
Yeah,
the
I haven't
movie.
heard either.
That's what this says. Is that they shown a couple of scenes and it's that they're slashing 20 minutes after dismal test screening. That
well, yeah,
doesn't
because
mean that it's
Chris Gore
reshoot.
mentioned that that there's a scene where there's literally like a 10-minute dialogue scene where
Yeah.
he's just talking to Lois. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to cut that at least in half.
Yeah,
That
but
would
that's
make
all
Did he
part of
see the
editing
movie or is he
between
just
test
hearing
screens.
this?
That's
No,
it.
he was at CinemaCon last week, and they showed all this stuff and they talked about all this stuff. Like Gunn was there at CinemaCon with
Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go script doctor. You were saying something.
Well, so between test screenings, the movie does get re-edited. It's part of the process. So if they're losing 20 minutes, we don't even know what that 20 minutes could be. And that means nothing. But the thing that I think is of huge doubt is the dismal test screening part, because I've not heard anything that's been negative enough to qualify as dismal. I've heard some people be like, yeah, it's a serviceable movie. Some people that really liked it. That's about as far as it's gone. Nobody has that I know that has been able to see a cut of this film has said it was horrible or not entertaining or not worth watching.
Did Chris kind of verify that verbal? Like, did he say it was good?
Well, he didn't verify like what parts are cutting, like Script said, but I think there was reactions to like how long like that one dialogue scene was. I think like, so if I'm guessing, those are some of the things they're going to cut down a little bit, because that is asking a lot out of an audience to sit through like just 10 straight minutes of them talking back and forth.
Apparently, like, especially a Gen Z audience, which have fucking
it's like my dinner with Clark or my dinner with Superman. My dinner with
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Could be interesting, but it has to be really, really riveting dialogue, and we don't know the content of that yet. And I think that's the only criticism we heard is that it stopped the momentum of the film. Was what I heard.
Well, but you know what? This is a good point because we haven't heard it's amazing either. So that's a little alarming because I've
heard some positive screens. We've heard
I've heard some positive stuff.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything of like a home run yet, but we've heard like really good and.
Well, I'm trying to figure out in what context, because that's the thing is, I don't know what was all shown at CinemaCon, and from what I've heard, the test screenings, most people said it was along the lines of the same tone as Wonder Woman, which means that if it's a lot of younger people seeing it, that means it's probably along the lines of Dawn or Superman, because that was where he was taking a lot of inspiration from. But I've also, and this is just what I've heard it's basically like it's like a week in the life of Superman. He's well established already. The whole kind of theme of the film is supposed to be the world needs Superman. Now I'm speculating a little bit off of some of the things I was kind of told. I think something happens early on, and that's where like the scene we've seen so far of him getting beat up is like in the first few minutes of the movie. I don't know if it wraps around on that or if that is a catalyst for something that happens, but I think the Lanterns come in and kind of put him on like lockdown because something happens. And so then it leads to the whole thing of them obviously realizing they need Superman. But like, as far as I know, everything we've seen, 99% of it is all from like the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. We have not seen much past that. So
even the shot of him like in that box where he's like punching it out, and then there's
that
like
might be one of the 1%. That might be one of the 1%. I don't know. Like,
because there's a few shots. Like there's one of Lex Luthor when he's like beaten up, and he's kind of like he looks like he's with his gun, and he's like this. And
there's also a shot of him entering the Fortress of Solitude as well. Like we don't know where they all place in, but one thing that we are pretty certain of, because James Gunn has done this on a habit, he never releases any footage from the last half of the film.
Right.
That's more so true. That's more so true. Yeah. I mean,
I wish fucking horror movies would do that.
I wish all movies would do that. Like, I mean, I really do feel like the art of trailer making has been completely lost. So like, people don't know how to fucking build up hype for a fucking movie anymore, including James Gunn. I don't really think that I think the trailer.
I agree with you there. That's, if anything, Gunn has been his own worst enemy in this whole situation. He keeps giving the Snyder Bros more and more fuel. Like, I don't know if the reason for releasing this sequence was to show, look, guys, he's not hurt that long. He gets better real quick. Because all it did was just spark more debate and bullshit. Because to me, I think the better idea is to show this scene during the Puppy Bowl crap where we got nothing that was promised, right? He was promising some big thing. Because then we could have seen Crypto, a little bit more of that scene. And here, if they were going to release some stuff, it should be a scene of him and Lois talking, even if it's just for a few minutes, but as Clark. And then another scene of him as Superman, whether it's saving somebody or something with him and Nicholas Hoult or something like that. Because otherwise, I don't understand, because from what I heard about the CinemaCon situation was they sat there and they did nothing but suck James Gunn's ding-dong for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, why are they not selling this David Cornsweet kid? Because this kid's a nerd just like Henry Cavill. Audience are the ones you got to win over. Those are the ones you got to convince that this kid is good and he's going to be a good Superman. And nobody knows who he is. But I think the nerd community would get behind him if they would try to, make like that video of him doing the Star Wars bit viral, maybe find some other things that he's done in the past and get him back out there again. I just feel like they're not really using.
Do you have that clip that you can pull up?
Yeah, hang on, I'll bring it up quick. But I do have to run here soon too. But yeah, let me see if I can find it.
I'm glad you're here, Tom. Thanks for making it.
You bitch.
I do agree with you, Tom. I think the promo, especially for him, has been kind of lackluster. Did Chris say anything else to kind of go on what Tom was saying? Verbal? Do you know?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Like, did Chris tell you anything else about the movie that he saw at CinemaCon or whatever that you can kind of?
I mean, yeah, he said like basically what we saw on YouTube or X, whatever. The 5-minute thing, they saw a longer version of those, so they got to see a little bit more scenes than we did. The people who went to CinemaCon. Again, nothing that is very spoiler or whatever.
But did he say he liked what he saw? What did he say specifically?
He said he was pretty meh on it. Like, it looks okay, but there's just not enough to say that it's going to be good or bad yet.
Okay. I'm hopeful. I'm gonna remain hopeful on this one. I want to get this guy a shot. Let's see what he does. And I was not a fan of Snyderverse, man.
I wasn't either. And I do trust James Gunn to some extent, man. I think that so far he hasn't really disappointed me. He knows what he's doing. He knows the characters. He knows the lore. He knows comics. So like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until otherwise.
Same here. How to deliver the same but different. Like this, there's a lot of aspects of this. So we've shown so far that feels Superman-y, and a little apart from the films, more so from the comics. But we've also never seen certain eras of the comics ever done in live action before, and he's giving us that. So it might be a little divisive at first for a general audience, but if he executes it well, which is really the goal that he's trying to do, people will be on board with that. I mean, he turned Guardians of the Galaxy into a household name.
Yeah, and I had no fucking idea what Guardians of the Galaxy was before James Gunn. Real quick, Tom has to leave us, so Tom,
I just wanted to ask Scripps something real quick.
Go
Actually,
ahead.
before I go, I'm curious if you heard anything about the Batman news. The rumor going around is they're getting pissed they still haven't got a script yet, so this movie might not happen. Because did you see that Pattinson might be signing on to Dune 3? So if he's doing that and he's doing Sergeant Rock or whatever the hell it is, how is he going to have time to shoot the Batman?
He's not.
Exactly.
And also, as far as I know,
I was wondering if you heard anything.
A draft has not even been turned in. Only pages have been turned in, and they're nowhere near done or ready.
That's what I heard too. Is they're not done yet. And they're getting pissed.
They
This
should
was
be.
supposed to start shooting this month. Actually, I think
It's supposed to start shooting 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean, officially they had set stuff aside or whatever. Like I think Pattinson or whatever had put it in his schedule for like this time period or something like that.
Which
might be why he's jumping on Dune, because aren't they filming Dune Messiah right now or getting ready to?
That's what it says.
Yeah,
they're
getting ready to that. And I know he's in contention for Sergeant Rock. I don't know if he's actually going to be part of that though.
I think he's supposed to be, but yeah, if he does get that, then like that's what I'm saying. Is between this and that, he ain't gonna have no time to shoot the Batman.
No, but it's such a shame too, because they just had that great season of Penguin, and everyone's
Well,
like,
that's-
"Oh, we want to wait for we're looking forward to Batman," and now it's like, when's that
Well,
going to happen?
That kind of supports what I was hearing before, and Script knows what I'm talking about, because I was being told that the Batman 2 was gonna be predicated on whether or not the Penguin performed well or not. And if you didn't notice, or I don't know if you guys noticed or not, as soon as the Penguin was a hit, that's when we started hearing, "Oh, the Batman 2 is happening. The Batman 2 is happening. The Batman 2 is happening." Well, now that he's dragging his feet, that momentum is slowly going away.
People
and
are
that's
forgetting
And then-
about Penguin, yeah.
Meanwhile, Buddy, the Penguin guy, he's eyeing some other comic book movie or series now that I'd never even heard of. What's the guy's name that went with Penguin? Colin Farrell. Did you guys hear about that?
Oh yeah, Sergeant Rock. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl Farrell is Sergeant Rock. I know, because that would be good. Because actually, Bruce
maybe
Willis
that's
was
what
a
it
Patrick
was. Maybe
Sergeant
that's what I
Rock
was
like 20 years
thinking
ago. So
Or maybe that's
Well,
what
I
I was
mean-
hearing, and I got the streams crossed on that.
No, but I
do
think
have
you're
to
right,
run,
Tom,
yeah.
about the Doom Messiah thing. I did hear that. So
Yeah. So, well, that's been out in the news, and I'm thinking he's shooting that at the same time he was supposed to be shooting the Batman Part 2. And he just said like 2-3 weeks ago, "I want to shoot the Batman Part 2 before I'm old Batman."
Yeah, before I'm old. Yeah, you did say that. Tom, where are you going now? Are you going
I'm
somewhere?
running over to Physical Media where I talk about what I watched during the week with Greg over on Fanzine. So after this,
Awesome.
if people are want to come over and see what I watched, feel free.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me, though.
We'll try and
You
raid you
watched
over there.
anything good?
You haven't seen?
No, you never know. You have to come find out.
No spoilers.
No
I basically got to
spoilers.
come on other people's channel just to see Script Doctor anymore.
Don't worry. As soon as I can get these last set of casting sessions done and these scripts turned in, I'll have some time again. It's
I
a
was just
pain in my
making
butt too.
He's gonna come on Toxic Fam soon again, too.
Okay. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for having me.
Bye, Tom. Okay, let's talk about this. We were going to talk about some other stuff, but now I'm thinking we're not going to talk about that stuff because it's just we're having way too much fun, and that topic is not fun at all. Like, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about this. Let's make fun of Elon Musk. So, Elon Musk, I mean, this is hilarious because
I'm gonna need another nicotine mint for this.
so Elon Musk apparently rage quit his favorite game after repeatedly dying amid ruthless cyberbullying in the chat. And this made me laugh because I mean, this
there's
was
a
hilarious.
huge controversy of how good of a gamer he actually is.
Yes, and okay, so that's basically now, mind you, this source is the Daily Beast, so let's just all acknowledge that the Daily
Miserable
Beast is
cat
asked.
ladies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I don't remind me to play you guys the corn sweat thing. Oh, you know what? Let's play that before we get into this topic. Oh shit!
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just X'd it out. Hold on. Thank God Tom left it in the back. Okay, here we go. We're gonna stay on topic for a minute. Corn sweat. He's geeky. People love him. They should. Here we go.
The Death Star is in range. You may fire when ready. I have you now. What? Yahoo! You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
I like it because he's such a dork.
Okay, that's the first time I've ever found him attractive.
Kid, now let's blow this thing and go home. Stand by. Stand by.
He even caught that his timing was off because he was listening to the soundtrack and not the actual cut song that was in the film, because the soundtrack is a few seconds longer.
Oh my God.
Wow, you're a nerd too.
Oh, dude, I'm a professional screenwriter. I better be a nerd or I have no cred.
Yeah, he is definitely a nerd. That's what we love nerds around here.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. The Force will be with you always.
Aww. You guys think he's Disney Star Wars fan? I don't know about that.
No.
Nah.
I don't think so.
But you know what though, I've heard a lot of good things about him as far as like his personality and very down to earth guy, and
He seems like it.
He's a nerd like us, and so I mean I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping that the Superman film is going to be.
I'm totally rooting for him too. I think he's a cute kid. He's got he's Superman, man. We gotta back this kid up. He's good. He looks good. He looks good.
He
And I like how he's nerd.
He really should be front and center on the marketing campaign. Tom is very right on that. Same with Rachel Brosnahan, because she was phenomenal in the Marvelous Miss Maisel. And the fact that we don't see, like, she went on The View dressed as Lois Lane before she was cast as Lois Lane.
Oh, that's
like, she was like still in contention for it. She went there wearing a purple blazer, just like the animated series Lois Lane. Got her hair styled like that too. We actually talked about it on Toxic Femme like last year. And I'm like, oh, she's wearing the Lois Lane costume from the art. She's doing this, basically saying to the world, I really want this role. And it's like, you got to start leading into these actors saying that they are really excited about this movie and project, because that's going to gear people up. Because these are even though Warner Brothers and rest of Hollywood has been so used to marketing the IP and the superhero at front and center, in this case here, because Warner Brothers is literally putting their entire studio on the shoulders of James Gunn and Peter Safran, James is probably feeling like, I got to take as much weight of this as possible in order to either if it fails, it's all on my shoulders and I save my cast, because again, one of the things every actor that worked with James Gunn absolutely loves him.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah.
just because he's a hard ass on set, but also because he gets the best out of them and he's always there to support them.
Mhm.
And I think he's probably putting himself front and center so that if there is anything negative coming, it's going to be directed more at him than the cast. But at the same time, it's like you got to mitigate that so you can show why this cast was what you picked and why we should be very excited for this for this film.
I think it's threefold too. I think him, her, and Nicholas Hoult should be like front and center in every single thing.
Yep.
Because I mean, like Lex Luthor's too is Lex Luthor. Everybody wants to see. I was saying this on Toxic Femme. I'm super excited to see Lex Luthor because I'm actually more excited to see him, Nicholas Hoult, as Lex than this dude as Superman because I already feel like this dude is doing Superman's look justice. Like it's good enough for me. Whereas in the last Lex Luthor we had was Jesse Eisenberg, and that guy was fucking awful. And I was like, that's not Lex Luthor at all. So this guy looks like Lex Luthor, and I'm like, okay, finally we got a good fucking Lex Luthor, and we got a good Superman. Let's go. Like let's fucking do this. And the promos have been shut. Now, mind you, apparently the Barbie people have hopped on becoming like the new promo people. So I think in the next couple of
that's
weeks,
good.
Seeing a lot of Superman promo coming up. I think so. I think
That is very good.
Actually, the marketing for Barbie was a lot better. Like before the Barbenheimer thing, their first trailer was really good because Michael Ryan Gosling had like 3 jokes in that trailer that people just I remember in the theater seeing that trailer every time he spoke, especially when he's at the hospital, assuming he could be a doctor. The crowd just kind of lost it for a few seconds there. And it's like, well, if you can find something that gets that emotional response, not necessarily laughter, but just emotional response out of a trailer that's beyond the crypto stuff, because crypto is low hanging fruit. People love dogs. I love dogs.
Yeah,
but
I agree. It
we
is
need to
low
see
hanging
something
fruit.
a little bit more. Like we only got that one big shot where he's rescuing the kid against all those pipes from the kaiju falling down. I think we would need to see maybe one more of that and maybe a little bit of a biting back and forth between Lois and Clark, like 5 seconds. And I think that would probably alleviate a lot of tensions.
I'm actually really annoyed that they showed way too much kissing between them already. I'm like, this is trailer 101, people. You have them up to here and then you show the kiss in the movie. Like that's the whole point is people want to see that kiss. Like if you're already showing it in the trailer, the anticipation's already gone. Like I'm like, I wanted to see the anticipation. Like you wait. They already show the kissing thing in the air even. I'm like, bro, you wait for this. This is what people go to the movies for, and you're already giving your whole hand away. It's like,
heck, they're even in the first Donner film. Well, the only Donner Superman, Lois and Superman never kiss.
Oh, really?
Just when he does like kind of quote unquote kiss her, she's dead at that point. He has to fly around the world.
Speaking of Barbie,
Get
real
him a
quick,
flag.
and then we're gonna go into Elon Musk, but LeBron James now has a Barbie doll.
Oh, I saw
here it
that.
is. It looks just like him.
I don't understand.
Very tight pants.
Why couldn't he have a G.I. Joe? He's not
I
masculine.
think I have those pants.
Hold on, I'm zooming in on this because we gotta look at this more carefully. Do you like it, Dante? Are you a collector of Barbie dolls?
You know, I don't understand who is it for? Who is it for? Is it for little girls?
No.
Right? I mean,
little
girls want a LeBron Barbie.
Yeah. He's taking that
This
whole
is
everybody
from
wants a
LeBron.
little LeBron tooth literally, I guess.
Oh, I do have those pants.
This is his pants.
Mine are.
He's got his
tight.
Nikes on.
Like,
Look
really,
at his
who is it
watch.
for? Like, is this for little boys? Is it for little like?
He's got his Beats headphones. He's got his massive watch.
He has
his
tiny
gold
hands.
Watch.
Yeah, he has small hands and skinny legs.
He's got skinny. Dude,
And the
he's
feet
got
are not
like the
big enough for
skinny
him to
pants
proportion
with
to his
the
height.
socks showing.
Yeah, this is like
This is really bad.
soy Bron James.
This would be a LeBron James in the 80s that would get beat up every day wearing that. He'd be in like
Wait.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh my god! For a second, I was like, "Wait, was he wearing that outfit?" He should have been wearing this outfit when he promoted it. Like he should have worn the exact.
He ain't gonna wear that shit.
He's
But
oh my god! He's
also-
got the hat on his head. There's
Why
the
is
hat.
he wearing like his Lakers outfit?
Oh, they probably couldn't license the Lakers. That's why.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of toy manufacturers today, the overhead on their toys are so high that it's really, really hard to do that. Like back in the day, I remember when you had was it Upper Deck co-financed a whole bunch of action figures for the NBA back in the 90s. So you'd get all the teams and players and their jerseys and stuff and action poses for basketball. You can't really do that today because it's just too expensive. Toy companies, from the late 70s all the way to the early aughts were making money hand over fist. But when kids started getting more into screens and social media, toys and action figures and things of that nature just kind of took a nosedive, and it became a collector's market. And when you have less inventory to sell, you have less money to invest in licensing deals for, legit teams and sports paraphernalia.
I like that he's wearing the little hat on his head. And he's got this new man purse.
That is called a
Barbie.
fanny pack, and he's wearing it over his shoulder.
Yeah, but
I thought it was called a merce.
Is that what it's called now? A merce?
Oh,
I like that.
New name for it.
Man purse.
Or was that on Seinfeld? I think it was a Seinfeld joke.
Maybe.
No,
Yeah. Oh, was it around the same time they were coming up with the man's ear or the bro?
Oh, the man's ear.
The man's ear. That's right. That was a thing. Oh my god.
Is it just me? Not like I personally give a shit, but if I were somebody who did, like, I don't want LeBron carrying a fucking purse and wearing little tight panty pants. Like,
Well, it is
no.
Barbie. It is a Barbie.
It is Barbie. Women would dress him up that way.
No, they
Kinda like
would.
getting to the finish line before the
hang
race
on.
starts.
Script doctor,
They
hang on.
dressed him a little poofy.
Yeah, look, as a woman who definitely played with Barbie dolls when I was a girl, and I still would if I had Barbie dolls, I would not be dressing up my LeBron James as a fucking bitch. I can tell you.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
He wouldn't be dressing like this. I don't know what the hell, whatever this is, but he wouldn't be dressed like this. I would get him some jerseys, NBA gear. Like that kind of thing.
I'm starting to question LeBron about a lot of things, man, because there's all those rumors about him at the Diddy parties, and now he has a Barbie. I don't know. There might be something.
He got his son on his own basketball team.
Glaringly obvious that will be.
LeBron should not be wearing the
Oh
same
my
pants
God.
as me.
Dude,
That's
you guys,
just
the
wrong.
whole thing with Bronny is so fucking sad. Have you guys Verbal? I know you live in LA, bro. Have you seen this fucking shit that's going on with Bronny? Because
Actually,
I feel
I
bad
haven't.
for him. I really do. I feel bad for him because so I've actually been keeping track of the NBA this year. Don't ask me why, but I actually been watching games and everything like that. This kid, man, he has gotten railroaded by his father. Like, he's basically been put on the Lakers team because LeBron is his dad. They only play him like when LeBron's not available, or like basically he just comes off the bench once in a fucking blue moon. He has no way of like showing his skill or like whatever he's about. Every time he comes off the bench, the Lakers lose it, and they're like, "Yeah, Bronny, Bronny, Bronny," and it's just like the Laker fans, And I'm like, he hasn't done anything. He just got off the bench. Like, hasn't even scored a fucking basket, and you guys are cheering him on.
He's only there because of his dad.
Yeah, his basketball career is completely like just a joke, basically, and I feel kind of bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is where does he go from here? Is the problem, right? Like, I think he's going to have a short career. I think they did him no favors. He should have went to like a different team and let him earn his spot. Let him be the sixth man, that kind of thing, or the seventh man, whatever. But yeah, I don't see a big future for the guy at all.
He should have at least gone to the Clippers. Like, I mean, if you want to stay near LA or whatever, but go to a different team, man. Like,
well, go to a team so that he has to play against his dad, because that's huge drama in sports. Father versus
Exactly.
son, that's a lot of ratings right there.
That's why you go to the Clippers, and then you're like, they have a huge rivalry there with the two big LA teams. I mean, it's just it's a mess. I feel bad for Bronny because I'm like, your dad basically fucked your entire career. It's weird. Russell Hall for 2 says, "Is that the first Barbie pussy?" That's a good point, Russell, because they're definitely not putting anything between the legs. So I bet.
Damn, that's true.
You're right. He's
Oof.
basically like, you know,
He's got a camel toe.
He's got nothing going on over there.
I just can't
Okay.
believe they gave him a purse, man. Like that is the
That's the new look for the dudes now, man. They got
No, I hate it.
fanny
I hate it.
purses. No,
I
I mean
hate it.
the what's it called?
I live in LA. I don't see guys walking around with those.
Not even like
Poor things.
preppy dudes. Isn't that like the new prep look? Like I thought that was the new preppy look for the dudes. They got their fanny packs.
I see a
with
dude with that on
purses.
Tinder. I swipe left. That is too damn gay for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I feel like I've seen that. Like they're trying to make it a thing. The preppies.
Yeah. No. The only thing you'd see in LA would be satchels, like men's satchels that look like they hold a computer or something in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you
don't
see
see.
those.
You don't
That's
see
out of work
small.
actors carrying their non-existent scripts.
Some.
Oh my
to
god.
their
Russell
restaurant job.
Russell for 2 says no because LeBron is a giant crybaby pussy. That's right. That's true. He is definitely la bitch. Let's just say that. La flop, as he's known. Okay.
I just wonder what kind of deal he signed with them.
With the Barbie, I know that's a
With
good
Satan.
With Satan.
Or him too.
That too. Elon Musk rage quits live stream after being cyberbullied by gamers. So basically,
which game?
That game, The Path of Exiles 2,
Oh.
which is what the drama was about. So basically, originally, a couple of months ago, he lied about being the #1 Path of Exiles 2 player in the world. Then a bunch of people kind of figured out that he was lying about it and kind of did like this live stream where they proved that he was lying and he wasn't, because he would have to be spending like an exorbitant amount of time playing this game, and there's no way that he's doing that and doing Doge and you know the elections at the time and like all the stuff, right? Like they're like no one's doing this. Like there's no way that you're the #1 player in the world. So they find out that he's buying like somebody to pay, like the time of somebody to pay for him. So somebody's playing for him. Somebody has like basically gotten that rank, and all of the stuff he has is by somebody else. Somebody else is doing it and under Elon's account. And which is kind of really weird to lie about. Like it's like, why don't you just
weird?
Yeah, like what? Like if you're lying about this, what else are you lying about? It's a weird lie, because you don't have to be the best at everything, you know. So that was a weird lie. So that got exposed, and then when that happened, gamers kind of like became aware of that, and they were like, "Oh, you're stupid," basically, and you again, like they're just annoyed because they're like, "Why would you lie about this? This is dumb." And so then they decide to troll him, I guess. So this is, and I mean, obviously these are lefty gamers because they exist too. And they don't like him. And you guys know what's going on with the whole Tesla thing and how they're trying to like set Teslas on fire and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. So there's a big movement about people who don't like Elon. And so he went to play this game again the other night, and then he fired up a live stream, and then this happened during the chat. Like country.
Anyone's spamming the chat and get the.
Also, apparently, he had a problem with like muting the chat. Like he didn't know how to get rid of it, which people made fun of because he's a tech guy. You should know that kind of stuff. And especially about a game that he claimed he was like #1 at in the world. He should probably know how to get rid of the chat.
Or he could have just ignored it.
Yeah.
Or that. And he did for a while until he decided that he's just going to rage quit and then disappear and blame his Wi-Fi, which I thought was hilarious because I was like,
isn't he on Starlink? So
yeah, I'm like, aren't you on Starlink? Like everybody's like, you're supposed to be advertising for Starlink being
But also,
the best.
why is he playing under his own name?
Because now he's gotten busted for that whole thing. So now he wants to see guys, I do play it myself. Look how great I am. Because it's all about ego with this guy. I mean, he is a narcissist. He drowns out the hate with Grimes.
That's fucking weird too.
It's me, Ashley Sinclair.
My name is Ashley Sinclair. I have no means
Oh.
to support myself.
Wow.
Please, Elon, send me some money for child support. You have no real friends and you will die alone. Ouch. That's mean.
Oh, wow.
Trans rights.
I mean, look, you can't have a thin skin and be a gamer, man. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Fiction loves.
Well, you can't have a thin skin and be Elon Musk either, right? Because I mean,
I agree.
Like forget about the gaming thing. I mean, this guy, he's got his hands in so many things. You just can't, like, he cannot show weakness to these people.
Mhm.
Russell Hall for 2 says no because that we got that one. Thank you, Russell. And I think let me see if there's something else that I wanted to discuss with you guys. Oh yeah, what Script Doctor, what's your thoughts on how China might stop making or taking movies from Hollywood?
Good.
What a shame.
No, they've had way too much influence on very desperate producers.
Yep.
And the irony is that they claim they retain most of the ticket sales over there anyway. So Hollywood doesn't even see the same percentage of return that they would in other markets. Yeah, so I'm happy about that. Yes, please stop it. like I've literally been in rooms where I pitch something. They say, "Well, how does this market to China?" And my first response was, "Who the heck cares about China?" And it's like, well, there's like over 1 billion people there. It's like, yeah, but they don't have money. It's like
right.
Gee, maybe now we'll get less $300 million shitty movies full of CGI and green screen.
I don't know if
No,
that's going
those
to
are always
happen.
gonna
That's
happen
all. Yeah,
because-
that's all Disney.
And it's going to happen mostly at Disney, not so much the other studios. They are trying to pull back because a lot of people are lining their pockets at Disney. And that's why those budgets are so big because
It's got to be money laundering.
It has to be.
Not necessarily laundering, but just moving it, just basically paying for things that don't actually exist. So, like, because money laundering is
sounds
you're
like
getting money
laundering.
in by ill-gotten means, and then you're cleaning it, and it going into other people's pockets. Hollywood, they know where they're getting the money from, and they're just creating new jobs and allocating it there as
put
well.
it in their pockets.
Yes, but they're doing it under a proper title where it actually can be traced. Where money laundering, the whole idea is that you can't trace where the money is. That's why it's money laundering. And in this case,
So money
here,
laundering in a cuter outfit.
probably.
In a
But,
mini outfit.
What it is that so we have Cannes coming up in 5 weeks on May 13th. So Cannes is not just a film festival; it's also a film market. This is where studios like Disney and Warner Brothers, Sony, and Paramount they go to pre-sell some of their movies, and they're pre-selling movies that are it's still in development. They're not going to come out for many years.
Right.
And if the more successful studio you are, the higher you can get from these pre-sales. And these pre-sales are not just coming from like private investors. They're also coming from theater companies and theater chains. So one of the reasons why Hollywood theaters are struggling, movie theaters are struggling a lot is that they are investing in a lot of the movies that are going to be showcased in their cinemas. And when they're not performing well, they're losing the profit margin of what that money is. So if they say, so movie theaters traditionally get around 50% of ticket sales. And then once that, once what they've invested in is paid off, which could be between $10 to $20 million per film, once that movie passes that $20 million, they're in the profit margin area. And that's really great for theaters. But the problem is that it doesn't always make it to that threshold for them right away because of all the other expenses. They still have to pay a rental fee onto that production, onto that film that's coming in there as well, in addition to paying off what they already pre-bought the movie for. And so if you have something that is a $300 million film and you have all those film markets contributing to that $300 million, you realize that the entire box office has to make $600 million just for the theaters to get their money back. And it has nothing to do with the studios yet. And then the studios get what's left over, but they also have to split what's left over with the theaters after that first 50% is paid off. So it's really like theaters are struggling because when you have a Marvel movie that's got $300 million budget and it only pulls in, say, $600 million worldwide, Well, the first 300 million that goes back to the theaters, and then whatever's left over, half of that goes back to the theaters as well, which is why you have that metric of a studio needs to make 4 times their budget in order to actually kind of break their own even over on their own expenses, even though much of the expenses that they spent was money that was given to them by the theaters or by private investment companies as well. So it wasn't even their own money. So what they end up losing is their profit potential. And when their profit potential goes down, it also means that they can't pre-sell those movies for as much anymore, which means they have to reorganize their budgeting and they have to start making cuts. So Disney over the last 4.5 years has had a terrible time at the box office, with a couple exceptions of like Avatar and maybe the one Marvel movie that did fairly well. So when they go to the theater market and they say, oh, we want all 50 of these international markets to give us $50 million each to go for these various Avengers and Disney IP movies, they can say, well, you haven't brought in $1 billion movie on the same metric that you did when we were giving you 50 million. So we're just going to give you 10. In which case, if they're only going to be getting 10, that means they have to go back to development and basically say, we got to cut the budget down now significantly in order to make these movies, which is why you've seen something like Captain America and the Thunderbolts and what's the other one that's coming out? Fantastic Four. They're all reporting around 180 to 200 now as they're more restrained budgets for this, as opposed to 300 million. And that's just because if Disney can't get those pre-sales, then they can't use those pre-sales as collateral to get more money that they can.
Yeah, but then they're going to drop like 500 mil on Doomsday.
Oh, yeah. And the reason they're doing that is because of the reputation of the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. and I think Christopher Marcus, because I think Mafili isn't coming back. So that's how they're trying to say, it's like, we need to get that higher pre-sale market back so we can get those $1 billion at the box office back. Here's our Hail Mary. We're bringing Robert Downey Jr. We're bringing the Russo brothers. We're, rebuilding the old team.
Russo brothers are the ones that did Stranger Things, right?
No, they did the Avengers.
They did the Electric City movie that was weird recently. They're television directors. They're television directors when they're not with Marvel. They're actually pretty bad directors.
Yeah, they are
with Marvel. Yeah. They have that oversight. They're fairly decent. But
I heard that Electric State movie sucked.
Yeah,
it's not great. And here's the thing about the Russo brothers, and I keep saying this over and over. Like, people keep giving them like all this
latitude
as far as like, being these great directors, man. But you have to understand, when they did Endgame and Infinity War, they had a great lead up into that. So all they had to do was take the ball and shoot it, right? They had a great lead up. These past phases, they've had nothing to work with.
Oh, dude, they fucking made 65. These guys suck. Like, that 65? Movie sucked.
That's the oh god.
That's the Adam Driver movie.
Film.
Yeah.
Adam
the
Driver.
Dino.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when they don't have a good lead up, like, they're not great directors, man. So like they're banking a lot on these two guys based off of phase 4 and 5 of the MCU.
Yeah. They're hoping that they'll galvanize it. The problem with the Russos is that they shoot their movies like television shows, but they have a slightly better lighting. But the shots, the quick cuts, it's all TV level because that's what they know how to do. Like, you'll never take a look at Winter Soldier, Civil War, and the Endgame and Infinity War. You will never see a shot that lasts, especially an action set piece shot, that lasts more than like a second, because it's always a quick cut with every single hit, every single blast, every single punch, every single throw. It's all a new shot, all new camera angle, with very few exceptions for anything longer than 2 or 3 moves. Whereas in traditional action films, you get like a Stallone or a Jackie Chan or a Jean-Claude Van Damme, you would have a shot that's like 30 seconds of an actual trade-off of punches and kicks between the actors on the set, and you get solely engrossed in that because you're like, holy crap, we can see that these guys are really doing stuff in there. Take a look at Tomorrow Never Dies, and you had Michelle Yeoh when that fight scene in the underground basement with all like those guys in James Bond. A lot of that is like really wide shots and good takes, and you see the dust flying off their bodies because, Michelle Yeoh, even though she's a traditional dancer, by that point she was known as a martial artist. She was perfectly fine getting kicked by stunt guys and then kicking them back. And we don't get those stuff anymore. We get all these quick cuts, and it's because they don't want to basically risk losing a day because for whatever reason they couldn't match the choreography for that 30 seconds that they need to just to have it in that one shot. So that's why you get all these kind of very jarring, which on the first look, you see it, you're like, wow, that's great and intense. But when you go back to watch it, you're like, you're not as invested anymore because everything is all these quick cuts and you're not able to process it as well. And when you go see a classic action film or a martial arts film, you're way more impressed with what they're doing because you can see it in camera and it's not being done through the tricks of editing. And there
Real
was
quick, I
another
would
girl
like to correct myself because they didn't do that movie. So let me just
They didn't do
correct
65?
myself.
Okay, I can't
No,
remember who did 65. All I know
they
is that I
didn't. They
fell
didn't do
asleep.
that movie. I made a mistake because it was like
I've
it
never
said
even
like
heard of that.
movies related to Electric Slate, and I thought that was the movie, and I was like, oh god, like that movie sucked. But no, they did. I just looked up their profile, and these are some of the movies that they've done. Obviously that Electric Slate movie, The Gray Man, which I haven't seen. I did
It was
want to check
okay.
it out.
It was okay.
Is that good? I
Is
haven't
that the
seen it.
horror one?
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's one with
It's with Ryan
uh,
Gosling, and it's
Ryan
like some
The
sort
Empty
of
Man is what I'm
Oh,
thinking of.
yeah, I was thinking The Empty Man or The Slender
That was
Man.
pretty good.
Both of those two.
no, The Gray
Yeah, I
Man is
figured
like
they
some
couldn't
sort
have
of
directed that 'cause it's
murder
pretty good.
mystery thing. I think it's a Netflix one.
yeah,
They
Chris
did do
Evans and yeah.
Extraction, which I did like. That one is
The
with
Chris Hemsworth one, right?
yes, and they did Extraction 2 as well, which was good. And then they did some movie with Tom Holland called Cherry, which I've never heard of. Have you guys
Oh, is
heard
that
of
the
this?
one where Tom
Heard of it.
Holland is like super gay?
He
Oh,
looks
really?
kind of
Yeah, there's one where he's like
gay.
a male prostitute or something.
Oh,
Like a
Whoa.
Midnight Cowboy thing?
Is that what this is? Because
I
that's
wish I
what
could remember.
it's Cherry, it's called. A film follows the life of Cherry from college to student PTSD affiliated veteran who robs banks to pay for his and his wife's drug addiction.
I think that's the
That's
one though where he's
movie's
like
about.
getting ganged out by guys. Like I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh God. Do we want to look at photos of this here? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. Look at
Yeah, probably not.
If you're in
Probably
Safe
not
Search
the best
on,
I'll
then
take a
look.
look at that.
I don't see any gay stuff or anything.
Then you know what? Tom Holland was in one of those movies. I just can't remember what the name was. I thought it was Cherry, but he is in. Yeah, because they made a
He
big
is
deal about it on X, like showing like the scenes and everything.
Yeah, I think I seem to recall something like that too. I
I'll
since
report back.
put it out of my brain, but I seem to recall that happening. Real quick, Russell Hall for 2 says China is a big part of the bottom line. And then for another 2, he says embezzlement mixed with sloppy money laundering.
I'm with you.
I think we kind of agree on that, even though Script Doctor tried to explain to us that it wasn't much.
I mean, it's the most legit set of transactions, but it's not necessarily going to the quality or the final product of the movie. It's just we got 40 different executives and various different department heads, and they all get a taste. And it's like, well, they don't do anything.
Bring the mafia back. None of this shit went down when they were. Everything got worse once the mafia went away.
I totally agree with that.
I
completely agree with that.
I mean, I will say there are some of the unions out there that are still run by the mob. For whatever reason,
Not
not
the good mob.
Tony Soprano wouldn't be letting any of this shit fly. I can tell
None
you
of
that
this
much
shit.
right
You would
now.
think there'd be any of this trans shit.
They wouldn't
if
have
Tony
that, but I
Soprano
will
were
say this.
around.
If Tony Soprano was able to get $300 million to make a movie and only spend really 180 and keep the rest, he will.
Yeah, this is also true. That he would definitely do
And
that.
that's most likely how it's really going over, especially at Disney.
Well, it used to be back in like the 90s and shit. If a movie cost a shit ton, like Titanic, for example, it was the most expensive movie then, but you see every dollar of it on screen.
Yep.
Nowadays, these movies cost $200, $300, $400 million, and it's like it's all green screen. It's like, where did the money go?
That's why I
visual
love.
effects are very expensive. Yeah.
That's why I fucking love White Lotus, and which I'm obsessed with right now.
Should I watch that? I've been considering watching that.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this show, and
Yeah,
like,
it's on my
like
list,
Survivor,
man.
and I love Survivor.
they do everything on not on set, on location. So all of it is like you can tell where the money is going because you're like, holy shit, like that's exactly like it's like the first one's in Hawaii, the second one's in Italy, like south of Italy and Sicily. The third one, this one is in Thailand. When you're watching the show, you're like, I'm in Thailand. Like I'm watching the show, and it's definitely like it's not. There's no green screen. You're not like, oh, what the fuck? This looks fake and fuck, you know. And it's a train wreck of a show. Like Mike, I think you'd love it. I don't know.
I need a new show. I just finished binging Australian Survivor.
I love Survivor, dude. I'm the biggest Survivor nerd in the world, man.
No way, I am.
I have rewatched like every season like multiple times.
What's your favorite?
Ooh, that's so damn hard, man. Because I'm a big Russell Hands guy. So
He was on one of the Australians.
I know. I saw that season of Australian Survivor that he was on.
So Australian Survivor is where it's at because
it is. It's the best.
The new era.
Well, yeah,
I can't
because
stand.
everybody dies in Australia. Like everything can kill you. I would assume that's the best one.
But the editing is so much better in Australian
And the
Survivor
casting.
for some reason. Like
I just finished watching All Stars.
The best thing I know about Survivor is the episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where he invites the fucking like Holocaust survivor to his house, and his buddy invites the like survivor from Survivor, and he's like, "No, I'm a survivor," and he's like, "I'm a survivor." Like,
Curb Your Enthusiasm is like one of the best shows ever. Man.
Yeah,
ever.
Especially the early seasons.
So good. Dude, I can't like one of my favorite seasons is when he gets the fatwa on his head, and that's later seasons. I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like he has like the Persian fatwa. Like, this is so good. He makes fun of the Ahuns. I love it. He makes fun of everybody.
I love the spite business.
Yeah.
All of it. The Spite coffee shop. I mean, it's so good. I mean, I think Larry is the only person that can do any of this really at this point.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't care about getting canceled. Like he does the most outrageous
That's
shit.
That's what's ruined Survivors. Every person on it now, you can see them panicking about getting canceled for like it's unwatchable.
He even did the whole thing about like the casting at Netflix and why you get really fucked up cast choices because of the pool and like how he got that chick because the guy was gonna sue him and he's like, "You gotta hire my daughter."
Yeah, like that. Was she retarded or she was?
She was like retarded.
She was
she was definitely retarded, and she was like a terrible actress. Although I've seen her since and other stuff, she's a great actress because that was all acting.
Oh yeah, no, she's great. She's in
great.
Abbott Elementary for a while too, which is a really great show, by the way.
Oh, I haven't seen that. But
first seasons are really strong. I was not sold by the 4th season of Abbott.
It's starting to reach this point where I think they might have to wrap it up. But those first like 2 seasons are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this new show. What's it called? White Lotus. Mike,
I gotta watch it. I'm gonna start tonight.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah, you guys gotta try it. It's good. But don't blame me if you don't like it because
the guy who created it was on Survivor.
He was?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he makes
who created it?
I thought it was Mike White.
Mike White, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he was on the season of
He was on with a bunch of crazy bitches. That was
it was like old people versus like young people or something.
David versus Goliath.
There you go.
Maybe that's why he makes these shows really well because
that's what I heard.
I think he takes them to like the places he's been to, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking make this show." That's really cool. I didn't know that.
He was on The Amazing Race too. I guess.
Oh, that was a season with that super like I won't call her angry because that's whatever, but that one black chick that wouldn't give that one chick her sweater.
Her jacket. Oh, it was so good. I wish that black chick. I wish they would bring her back on every season.
Yeah, she was ridiculous.
She was so entertaining.
She sounds.
See, they
funny.
don't cast like entertaining crazy people like that anymore.
I know. See, that's why it sucks now, man.
Yeah,
they used to be batshit crazy.
Everyone they cast now is like a wannabe professional Survivor player.
Well, and now it's like, and now that it's like all this like super woke stuff where they have to have a number of black people, a number of gay people, a number of this, a number of that. It's not fun anymore.
That takes the fun right out of it.
It
really
does.
does.
Season where there were 2 black girls, and they call a stop to the whole tribal council to bitch that the black people were voted out last, and it's like you're the ones who voted them out.
I remember that, and honestly, I turned my TV off. I was like, I can't do this.
It was so gross.
Woke Survivor. That sounds awful.
Oh,
what
horrible.
the fuck?
Unless it was a comedy, that could be really great, though.
That sounds funny. Yeah, that would be funny.
I just miss when Survivor was fun, and honestly, I just miss when like they really had to survive, right? Like when they didn't have no food, they had to go out and hunt their own food. They was eating rats and shit. Like,
oh shit, that is surviving.
But in Woke Survivor, you literally have to walk on eggshells.
Yeah.
Wait, they don't do that anymore? Like they don't
No,
actually
now
have
it's a
to
little bit more
survive?
cush, and they kind of like, I guess because they don't want to get sued, they make it a little easier for them now.
Like they
Where
give them
before
like
it was
food
like
packs and shit or something?
survive or die back in the day.
But they
Well,
like, do
and
they
now
give them like
everyone
food
is
packs now, or like what do they do?
Yeah, like they give them like, I mean, well, what they do is they put them in better conditions. So like
and
the
it's half
conditions
the amount
aren't
of
as rough
time.
as they used to be. Because Survivor Africa was brutal. Season 2, that was a
Damn.
rough season.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised no one's died.
They've come close. There are a few that came really close, actually.
Damn.
Where like the
all right.
helicopters have to come down and like take them out
Like
of the game.
med back
and
them and
stuff like
shit.
that.
Oh, that's
Well,
crazy.
and now in the new seasons, everyone is either black or gay. Like I
Yes.
hadn't watched the new season. I'd stopped watching after the winter's season, and so then I went back and watched the newer ones.
Wait, are they gays?
Everyone is
lasting?
gay. Everyone is gay. Half the cast is fucking gay.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't think that gay people would be into like Survivor all that
Oh
much.
no, gay people are very into Survivor.
Oh wow.
You know why though? Because they get to tell their story, right? Like now everything has to have a story. And they get to, when they go to tribal council, they get to like talk about how, hard their life is or was and the bravery that they mustered up to come out and be who they are and shit like that.
That's why my favorite player is Todd from China, because he didn't do any of that shit.
Todd was good,
He
man.
was so good. And Richard
He
Harris
deserved
didn't
that
have to
win.
do any of that shit.
You guys should do like a Survivor stream together.
Please dude, I'll tell
I'm
you I have
down.
some crazy shit to tell you. off
Surviving
camera
Survivor.
about that.
Watching
Surviving Survivor, especially like woke Survivor. Like that would be a good fucking title.
Well, one of the
actually.
events I do
Surviving
in Woke Survivor.
Woke Survivor.
If I did Woke Survivor, I would do one of the events of you have to go to one of those protests and not get noticed or arrested.
I mean, this show has what, 48 seasons?
That's
That's crazy. 25 years.
They're gonna screw up
48
season
seasons.
50.
I mean, it's kind of like you guys are making me upset because I remember the first season that came out.
Oh yeah,
hell.
Richard
It
Hatch.
was
Come
so
on, man.
good.
I even considered watching it back then. DL for
We'll tell you the good
$1.99.
seasons to watch.
Remember when the guy on Survivor fell in the fire?
Yes, and then
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
that
he's
was
a
season-
pedophile. So now it's
that
like
was
I
season
hope he
2.
burns.
What?
Mm-hmm. He's in jail for pedophilia.
Yeah, Mike, what's his name? Mike something.
Stupid.
Yes.
Oh my god!
No, but what's crazy is they brought him back in a later season. They brought him
Yeah.
back.
What the fuck?
And
Maybe-
he was a minister, and he was talking all about his church, and he's the pastor and stuff. And then maybe like a year later, he got arrested for fucking
Oh
kids.
no, he was a pastor pedo. Oh no.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Did they not vet these people? I mean, that's bad. that's
I mean,
Well,
you
if they
can
did vet him
people,
and find
but,
it
I
out, he'd be
mean-
arrested earlier before he got on the show. So
There
okay.
used to be a bunch of people didn't pass the psych test.
Oh, God,
You can
yes.
tell.
Oh my.
well, they don't even
Um,
always do that. Some of the producers on reality are looking for the crazy people because they know that's going to make good TV.
Not
That's true.
anymore.
Well, when you have all of them out crazy and there's no person to like bite back against it, yeah, it gets kind of boring.
You know what show is
there
really
used
good
to
now?
be a
though?
good balance though between crazy and sane, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
They
Now
just
it's
lost all of
now
that
they're just all
balance,
boring.
man.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
Seinfeld episode, but everybody's Kramer.
Yeah, that would suck.
No, now it's like
'Cause you need one
like
Kramer.
now it's like basically the Disney sequels version of Survivor,
Yeah.
just soulless.
Let's
You know what show
watch
is really
this.
good though? You guys should watch The
Hmm.
Traitors.
Oh, I've never watched.
Have you
I
watched
haven't
that,
seen that
right?
one yet.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Okay, that sounds
They have all
interesting.
the best players from the different shows like Survivor and stuff, and it's like
I
a-
never
and
got
like
into
Johnny
that
Bananas
shit.
is part of that, right?
he was on one of the yeah, but they had Sandra, they had Parvati, they had
Oh,
Tony.
Parvati, yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
I never got into like any
Doree
of
was
these
on it, and
reality
she was
shows.
amazing.
I hate to say that the only reality show I ever got into, which I want to kill myself now about thinking it, was Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I can't believe I actually
Really?
kept up with the Kardashians for I
Wait,
kept up
wait,
with them
how
for a
many
long
seasons
time.
though?
Like
Was Bruce Jenner still
like-
Bruce Jenner?
yes, definitely.
Yes.
He was still Bruce. I think I stopped when they went to Miami, I want to say, like when they were like keeping up with the Kardashians in Miami. or
Oh, I remember
whatever.
that. Yeah.
I think that's
it
when
was
I
just
stopped.
Chloe and Courtney though, right?
Chloe still looked like Chloe. Like she still looked like, OG Chloe when I stopped watching it. And then she became like Kim.
I've never seen an episode, and I don't understand the appeal, because to me, having not seen it, they just seem like the most boring people on planet Earth. I don't
The old
understand
ones were kind of fun. Like the old ones were
Really?
kind of, yeah, it was
they were
a
driving
different
Bruce
time
Jenner
back
mad.
then.
That's why.
They drove him to cut off his.
Well, he
Yeah,
did.
it-
They castrated him before he castrated himself.
It was
But
a
see,
different time
that was
back
during
then.
that time of like the Jersey Shore and like
Yeah.
and Paris and Nicole doing their
Yeah.
thing, and
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. So it was basically trash TV.
It was.
Yes.
Oh, and I did
I
watch
love
that
the-
too. I did watch A Simple Life. I fucking love
Oh, that was
Paris
so good.
Hilton.
That was a
such
train
good
wreck,
show.
man. That
Oh,
was a
that
train
show.
wreck.
You know it's coming back. They're doing that again.
They're both
bringing back-
parents, really.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're bringing back Paris and Nicole are bringing back The Simple Life.
These are
Great.
grown ass women with kids. And they're doing this again.
They're doing it again. It's
I
hilarious.
I
I'm all
usually
there
only
for
like
it.
the
'cause I think she's
competition
funny.
ones, but the one I loved was the Real Housewives of New York, because those bitches were.
I never
nuts.
watched those. I never
But
watched the Real
then-
Housewives ones.
I've only watched the New York ones because the women on it were so delusional and so nuts. It was amazing. It was like a work of art. But then they bitched that there wasn't enough diversity, which like it's supposed to be delusional white bitches from New York who are a little racist, and like that's what you want them to be. So then they had to bring the black chick in, and every week is a critical race theory seminar
Oh,
from her, and
no.
everything is racist. And they had to just cancel the entire show after like 15 years. They had to just fire the entire cast because they couldn't just fire the black chick.
Oh no.
And they just had to get rid of the entire cast because she caused such a problem.
Everything woke turns to shit.
It really
Mhm.
does. Real quick, we're gonna watch these two videos and then we're gonna call it because I wanted to end this show on some good laughs. This guy says this is the most I've seen of that movie, and it's still too much. This is a really funny clip of Snow White.
So whistle while you work. Whistle while you work. It's easy to do it when we do it hand in hand.
Oh my god!
It was just like her.
Wow.
Why is the real movie filmed like that?
Right?
I don't know.
Money laundering, dude.
Or
I
is that from the theater? That's why the color correction seems.
I
off.
think it's
Oh,
from-
you know, it
yeah,
might be. Yeah.
That's the theater film.
I
But
thought there was like a younger actress playing Snow White in that movie. Why haven't we seen any footage of that?
There was, and you
There
know what's
was.
funny? The younger actress was white.
I didn't notice that.
oh yeah, this whole like her jaw thing. I don't get it.
Bad direction. Because you're supposed to clench your teeth when you're worried that there is a knife at your throat. You're not supposed to eject your jaw.
I know. I was making fun of this with Tom the other day. I'm like, it's like they took 100 takes and that was the best one.
God.
This is the other one I want to play for you guys. I saw this the other day and it cracked me up, so I want to share it with you.
The good news about erectile dysfunction is that it can be cured with diet and exercise. The hard part is getting your wife to diet and exercise.
Oh shit!
Apparently,
in the fridge at the same time, which is great.
I know that's the comedic timing of it is amazing. Apparently, these two have like a TikTok account and they're like pretty viral on there where they do like skits like this. So now I'm trying to find the TikTok account. I actually haven't found it, but
That's
this
hilarious.
is by like Twitter. You find stuff and nobody gives credit. Oh wait, do they have credit on this TikTok video thing? No, there's nothing. That sucks. I thought
That's
it was funny.
hilarious. I thought it was going to be another fucking asexual.
No.
See, they can't get it up.
Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me today. It was super fun to talk to you. Mike, tell everyone where they can find you and what you got coming up next.
I am on the Twitter at not Mike Harlow or my YouTube channel, Mike Harlow. I have my weekly show, Microaggressed, show on Sunday, more coming up. Lots of stuff.
Is Micro rest on Sundays? Is that Sundays?
It's kind of on random nights. People tell me I should pick a night, but I'm very indecisive, so it's random nights.
I understand. So follow him on Twitter where he usually announces where he'll be. Make sure you do that, and it's in the description as well.
And you guys got to come on soon.
Yes, definitely. I'd loved hanging out with you. Verbal Riot, aka Dante. Tell everyone what you got going on, what you got coming up next.
Yeah, you guys can find me at Verbal Riot on Rumble, YouTube, and X. And I have the thing I have coming up is I have a video on Daredevil coming up either tomorrow morning or Friday morning. And tomorrow night, for the first time in months, I'm back live on VRL, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. PST. So guys, catch me live there. It's going to be my first time and back since probably November. I had to take a little bit of a hiatus because I got into some shit with YouTube, but but I'm back now, and yeah, it should be fun.
Mike's on Vet Talk as well. That's what TZ is
Hell
saying.
yeah.
Like real quick, Dante, give us a little. I mean, obviously people should watch your video, but should I even bother with Daredevil? I've not been hearing good things.
So here's, I mean, I'm gonna talk about it, but here's the thing. The problem is that it's been pretty meh for like up until now, right? Like episode 8 premiered last night, and as you're watching it, you're thinking, why didn't they just start with this instead of giving us 7 filler episodes up to this point, right?
I hate
now the filler episodes were entertaining here and there, but not the quality that Disney, kind of promised. And also, they didn't get the ratings they thought they were going to get. So I think this was just all bad planning. Like, it was a lot of bad planning. So if you're asking me if you should watch it, yeah, casually just watch it, but don't expect much.
Okay, I still have to watch
It was a very pragmatic production because they threw out a lot, and then they had to salvage what they didn't throw out and make
that's
it work
the problem.
with what they have. And yeah, however, I will say, people I know at Disney are pretty happy with the ratings because they're higher than what Netflix got when their show was running.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're good. They're better than that, but I mean, at the same time, they're not doing great either.
When you put it up against the other Disney Plus shows, it's terrible. Like, that's the thing.
Like, The Acolyte got more views than Daredevil did. So
exactly. Ouch. But like for Daredevil on Netflix, every season that dropped, they averaged between 3 and 4 million for the entire series.
Wow. Yeah.
And then with Daredevil Born Again, you got that entire amount for the first 2 episodes, and then it's been kind of consistent all the way through, but it's still on the low end. And that's even in the fact that Netflix at the time when they did Daredevil still had more subscribers than Disney Plus has today. So, I mean, there's a lot of weird cherry picking that Disney can do to say that this is still a success, because they are basically saying this is not our show. This is a show we purchased from Netflix that we now put on Disney Plus, and now we've done a sequel series to it, and it's performing better than the Netflix show. But then when you put it up against the other Marvel shows and the Star Wars Disney Plus shows, it is bottom of the barrel. And so now they have to come up with a reconciliation of that. It's like, well, we're going to be doing the second season because they've already filmed a third of it before they
already filmed it.
Stopped. And then they're probably going to do a third and fourth because, critically speaking, it's not being trashed anywhere near all the other Disney Plus shows. Like, that's it. Like, its biggest disappointment is the fact that, yeah, it feels a lot more like filler, and it feels like the peaks and valleys are coming way too quick, and there's not enough time to kind of really digest it. And they have some big hills to jump over for the second half of the season, and if they do a third, which looks like they're going to do it regardless at this point. So
yeah, I mean, it's worth checking out. I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't stay invested in it, but it's not a bad show. It's just not great.
It looks awful.
It's got, well, I mean, it has the one aspect of why superhero television shows are very difficult to do, because to make them as superheroic, it's cinematic level, it's feature film level expenses, and you're trying to cut that in half when you're doing it on episodic basis, because the return on television, the way that they have the models with streaming right now, will never yield the expense worth. Which is ironic, because if you were to do, say, a Daredevil TV show like the Netflix one in, say, 1992 on primetime, that would be a huge hit of a show, they would have enough money to do stunts and everything in camera. And while the seasons would be shorter and the turnaround time between seasons would be a little bit longer, everybody would be tuning into it because every advertiser would be spending maybe $2 or $3 million for a 25-second slot on that hour-long show. And it would be incredibly profitable for whoever owned that property then. Today, with streaming, it's subscription-based with a little bit of ads that are not yielding eyes or revenue in order to justify trying to have every episode with Daredevil in costume fighting a bunch of goons or a supervillain. It's just not in the cards. So unfortunately, they go the cheap route, which is drama outside the costume, talking in rooms, talking in hallways. Yeah, it's tragic, but that's the state of it for now.
Ooh, that sounds not good.
Sounds horrible.
I was trying to find where Tom is because I was like gonna say like we should raid Tom's stream. I think he
That's
said
on the
he's in
fanzine channel. I should be able to find you the link. Let me see.
Let's see. Is it the physical media?
I usually watch it in the morning.
Oh, I think I found it. Okay,
Here
we go. I found it. It was on his Twitter. Okay, we're gonna raid that place, you guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat. But Script Doctor, before we go, tell everyone what you got going on, what you got coming up next.
Oh, right. So I don't get to stream a lot, but I do have a default stream I do every Saturdays at 7 p.m. called Scripts on Saturdays, where I review screenplays that are currently circulating around Hollywood. This week's script is called Mommy's Home, and it's a very interesting sci-fi horror, possibly comedy, where a woman, a 24-year-old mom, is cryogenically frozen, and then she's reawoken 25, 30 years later, and now she's being a pain in the butt on her family, who have all grown up now. And she might also be murdering people.
You had me at sci-fi.
This sounds great.
Yeah,
you had me at sci-fi. Oh my God, Script Doctor, did you see that? What it says Steven Spielberg is making a sci-fi movie. I was like, thank fucking God. Like Steven Spielberg, like quit doing fucking weird musicals.
I think the last one was War of the Worlds, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So it's,
and then there was another person I heard was doing a sci-fi, and I was like, yes, fucking more sci-fi. It was like
Ryan Gosling's doing Project Hail Mary, which I've read the book.
No. It was like a trailer for that one. Yes, I had heard about. It was a trailer with Alexander Skarsgård, and he's doing something with Apple. I marked it to watch it because I forgot what it was. Hold on, Alexander Skarsgård. Where are you?
Apple, I wouldn't know too much because it's hard to keep up with Apple. They don't advertise well.
He's got some new sci-fi thing.
They had one really good show on there called Servant, and I don't think anybody but me watched it.
I had heard about it. It's called Murderbot.
So good.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, what? He's a murder bot? This looks cool. Hold on.
I think I saw a thing of that.
Can we watch this trailer here without getting claimed, or is it gonna like?
I don't know. Apple, yeah, Apple doesn't usually do much, but I think it has to be muted.
Okay, well, we'll watch it and then I'll cut it out if I have to. Do you guys mind if we watch the trailer?
No, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. It's Murderbot.
I am a security unit.
Probably spend $1 billion on this.
Innovation. And humans are idiots.
Oh my God, I'm already sold. Like so sold. It's not even funny.
But now that I've hacked my programming, I can do whatever I want.
They're all gonna kill us. This is gonna happen.
As long as they don't find out.
Now, let's talk security. We need you to select a sec unit to take on the mission.
Oh, Andrew Mooney.
Newest model available.
Damn it, the music is gonna get me.
That's
Probably,
a refurbished model.
Oh, look at that piece of crap. Oh, wait, that's me.
Which one's the least expensive? That one, but you get what you
Oh, he's like doing the voice. Like maybe he's in the bodysuit too.
pay for.
True.
Damn it.
Be so creepy if it didn't stand so still. Shh. You can hear us. We can't.
I could. I just didn't care. I was watching the entertainment channels on the company's satellites. I'd watched 7,532 hours of content. Shows like The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon.
Did you sleep with that bot? Stars, Captain.
What now? Run!
Stay calm. It'll be okay.
I didn't know it has a face.
Yeah, it's kind of a sweet face.
Stop staring at me.
I wasn't. Stop staring at me.
I have been noticing some anomalies with the sec unit.
Uh-oh.
And when I plugged into its system, the unit was already rogue.
It calls itself Murderbot.
How's private? It's a killing machine.
Murderbot? Can you stop calling it Murderbot? It's terrifying. I mean, that's what it calls itself, so I am just being respectful.
Oh my god. I hate that kind of talk.
Think we can trust it?
It seems like it's going through something.
Make contact.
You could have killed me.
There was a chance, yes. But everything turned out fine.
All right.
Apple has some really good shows, but yeah, but like Script said though, their marketing is awful.
Yeah.
I just heard about this today randomly on Twitter. They should have done more marketing for this. That's for sure. I mean,
yeah, I haven't even heard of it.
Stars card.
One of my friends is in this show, and he didn't even tell me about it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
You know what I forgot? I don't know if you guys are into this show, but new Black Mirror comes out tomorrow. It's kind of gone downhill the last few seasons.
Yeah, I used to be a big fan. I didn't care for the last season, but I'm always going to watch it. So
same.
I never got into it because I watched the first episode of the first season, and it was so bad that I was like, I'm never watching this show.
No, same, but ignore that episode. Like it gets.
Everybody says that to me, but I can't get it out of my head.
I had the exact same thing happen.
Like I can't do it.
You know what, Nina? Watch San Junipero.
And watch what's it called? Nosedive.
Yes.
You guys are gonna have to give me seasons and episode numbers. Like DM me, like
they're all standalone anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, that type of thing.
I know. I just never went back because that first episode was so bad. I was like, this is
literally same thing happened to me.
Yeah, it's the prime minister that fucked the pig thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, mind you, it was based on reality.
I didn't like that episode at all.
No, same. And I didn't end up watching the show for like a year after that.
Yeah, I still haven't. I didn't go back.
You would really like some of them though.
Yeah, like the John Hamm episode is really good.
Oh, it's so good.
I love John Hamm. So okay, send me that.
I think the Black Museum episode is really underrated too.
Amazing. Yes.
Okay, send me some of these episodes, like the names or whatever, and I'll look them up and I'll watch them.
You would love the Star Trek-y one.
Oh, that was good too.
Oh yeah, that had
There's a
Jesse Plemons
sequel
in
to it in this new season.
Okay, send me some of these names and like episode numbers, and I'll.
You
look
know
them
which
up.
one I loved too, by the way? That's very underrated. The one it was just like a thriller where there's a machine where they can see people's memories, and the woman killed someone.
Oh,
that one's very underrated. I think
I do. I remember that one, but yeah, it didn't leave a mark. I was just like, okay.
I love that one.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Special thanks to those of you who super chatted, became a member, gifted memberships, all that good stuff. Thank you for helping out the channel and for watching all the good stuff. And until next time, you guys, we'll see you next time. Bye. Take care.